All right, here I am, podcasting with the best individual I know, and Squito's here too. Yeah,
That's crazy. Who's this other individual?
me, myself, and I, brother. Come on now, yeah, come on now.
Shit, I can't compete with that.
Damn straight. All right, so we have a lot of points on the docket today, quite a few actually, but they seem to be more minor points. First of all, I wanted to start with the new Ghostbusters film, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now, while I have not seen the film, I can tell you just from the promotional footage that it seemed like it was bog average, and that's coming from a guy who liked Afterlife, which is why I didn't go out to see Frozen Empire. But I know somebody who did. Speak your mind, Squito.
Yeah. So I watched Ghostbusters Frozen Empire literally opening day, like when it came out. And so coming from the trailers, I wasn't expecting anything too crazy, but the movie I imagined in my head was a lot better than the actual movie. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire wasn't bad. It's just a lot of wasted opportunities and missed potential, I think. It's just okay. It's an okay movie. It has its moments. I think some people are gonna like it. It's kids are definitely gonna fucking love it if they go see it,
Right.
and if they don't get scared easily. Because this movie focuses a lot more on the scares than I think the previous Ghostbusters movies do, which is kind of weird. But also, like in focusing on that, there's a lot more ghosts I think in this movie, but they don't really do anything with them. It's just like I feel like 90% of the movie is exposition and filler before you get to the final battle.
Damn.
And then even then the final battle is kind of anticlimactic. So it's just like, all right, that was a movie that I watched. It exists.
So,
Didn't really do anything for me.
so what I'm getting from this is that you take a movie like Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and while you have crazy cool action scenes, when they're fighting ghosts, you also have really charismatic actors speaking good lines, so like one of the more memorable moments of the Ghostbusters film is the banter between Ghostbusters. And from what I saw in the trailer, it seems like the dialogue here isn't exactly anywhere near as witty as the original two. Are you agreement there, or what's up?
I would say the banter is definitely like one of the better parts of the movie, and I like the cast, but there's too many people in this cast. There's too
Oh,
many people in this movie, and the movie's like I think it's like just under 2 hours if you're not including credits, and so it goes by quick because they're bouncing off of everyone. There's like three different subplots in this movie that all like converge by the end, but it just feels like too much.
hmm.
I think so. Like the character banter is fine. I like that aspect of the movie. In comparison to the originals, I don't know. I mean, like the original four, they kind of have their own energy, their own aura compared to like the newer guys. So it's definitely gonna feel a lot different.
Hmm.
But I just think this movie had too many characters, and also you know how Afterlife was like a passing of the torch movie
Right.
because like you had the OG Ghostbusters, and it was kind of like all right, these are like the new kids. This movie's also kind of a passing of the torch movie. So how many movies is it going to take to pass the torch on to the newer Ghostbusters?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's my thing. Like when I saw that Bill Murray was in it, I'm like, why? Didn't they just do that with Afterlife? Like they brought everybody
Yeah,
back. It was the passing of the torch. It was in memory of one of the Ghostbusters who died.
yeah,
Like it was a good send off, and I enjoyed it. And then when I saw that they did it again in this movie, I just thought, why?
yeah,
It seemed to me, I haven't seen the movie. I just saw the trailers, and from what
yeah,
I
yeah.
saw, it seems not. I'm not saying it's gonna say. I'm not saying it's pointless, but it definitely doesn't have as much purpose as the original Afterlife. Do you concur with that? How do you feel?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. This movie just feels like just another Ghostbusters movie, like without any real rhyme or reason. Like there's no purpose in making this one,
Mm.
whereas the last one was just, oh, we're bringing the Ghostbusters back. We're passing the torch, but this movie is mainly in memory of I don't remember the actor's name, unfortunately,
I'll
but
look
the
it up.
character Spangler,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the fourth Ghostbuster. So like it was in memory of him. That's kind of what the whole movie was centered around. This one doesn't really feels like it has a purpose. It's just a movie that they made because the last one did well.
Yeah,
That's how it feels.
his name was Harold Ramis. Yeah, that guy.
Harold Ramis, yeah,
Mm.
he was great in the original too. I love Spangler. Spangler was probably one of my favorite Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he
But
was he was damn good. Now that I remember who. Yep, he was damn
yeah,
good. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and so Afterlife I think was such a great like send off for the OG cast, and it was like, yeah, the Ghostbusters are finally back. And then this one kind of felt like, I guess based on the ending of Afterlife, they felt obligated to do another one.
Mm-hmm.
And so like now we have Frozen Empire, but this one doesn't really do anything crazy to, I guess, warrant like being a sequel. Maybe it doesn't need to be. Maybe it just needs to be a fun, entertaining movie. But
Mm.
even then, it's just okay.
Yeah, I como se dice, from what you're telling me, it doesn't seem like I really miss much, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You
you're using the trailer as reference. All the best moments were in the trailers. So
know?
if you just watch the marketing, you get all the best moments of the movie.
Then fair. All right.
Yeah.
That's it. I may watch this down the line whenever I do rewatch Afterlife because I am planning to rewatch Afterlife.
Yeah.
I remember watching Afterlife in theaters and it was just such a great experience. I remember there was some crazy setup with like the cabin that they were living in and like that when the act when the como se dice, like the character of what was his name again? I'm so horrible. Yeah, Ramus. When Ramus died, like in character in that film, like it was a great setup. It gave you a cute sense of paranoia. It also gave you an acute sense of this villain is going to be extremely hard to vanquish. You know, like it was a good build up. They used that very well, and I think it was very respectful towards the actor. So
Yeah.
I
And
enjoyed.
I think it was cool that. Sorry.
No, go ahead, you finish.
I was going to say, I think it was cool that the villain in Afterlife was also the same one from the original Ghostbusters. Like the ghost like came back and was haunting, I guess, Spangler, and he dedicated the last years of his life to, keeping the ghost at bay.
Right.
So I think that's a cool like premise, and that's a good way of bringing back the OG Ghostbusters and the OG villain, and have it all tie up together.
Well, yeah, I agree with all of that. It definitely made the ending scene feel a lot more powerful as well, because like this is the ghost that killed Spangler. You know what I mean? Like, gotta take him out, and then the whole reveal of the old Ghostbusters coming back was pretty damn cool as well. So. Overall, it was a damn good film from what I watched. It wasn't the best. It definitely had some issues, mainly with the kid acting. You know what I mean? I did like the main character, but like, yeah, some of the comedy with the kids didn't hit for me. But overall, Afterlife was a damn good experience. I'd give it like a solid 7, maybe close to an 8. It depends. But when I watched it in Dolby, I remember just being amazed by, como se dice, the sound quality and like how crazy that movie was. It's just, I wasn't expecting it to be good because of Ghostbusters 2016, and it blew me out of the water. So I'm thankful for that. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I mean, like Frozen Empire is not short on. Definitely, it's made by passionate people because this movie in particular, what stood out to me from Frozen Empire was that it has a very nice blend of CGI and practical effects. And when there is a lot of CGI, like with the ghost and in the final battle, it looks really, really good. Like everything looks top notch visually. The movie is incredible. It looks really good. Yeah, a lot of my problems are just in the story. Too many characters. I guess too short of a runtime with the amount of characters that they've had, and it was just not. The plot itself just wasn't interesting. It's a lot of exposition for exposition's sake. It's just dumping information on you, biding time before it's like, okay, now we got to fight this thing.
Do you feel like they masked the exposition well?
No.
Yeah, because that's
definitely not. It's a lot of like very obvious exposition, and it's just a lot of information thrown at you. And they try to like use jokes and like levy it up a bit, but it's not really there all the way. I think a lot of it is just dry information being spoon fed to you.
Because I feel like there's quite a few movies who are capable of doing that giving you a lot of exposition without it feeling like an exposition dump. I think one of the most like como se dice, obvious cases of this is The Hateful Eight with Tarantino. I mean, those characters are constantly talking about their backstory all the fucking time. Except that the conversation between them feels so natural and genuine. And you're thinking in the back of the head, like, well, what the hell else would they talk about? Like, all of the stuff that they're talking about is stuff you would think they talk about. Like, the characters are their own entity at that point. And that's how Tarantino writes. So their conversations, even though there are a lot of exposition about, como se dice, their beliefs, their backgrounds, their whatnot, it's very realistic in the way that it's presented, and it's very seamless. I think that's a good way to put it. Extremely seamless.
Yeah.
So,
and the Hateful Eight, they make use of flashbacks too, right? It's been a while since I've seen
a little bit.
Yeah.
They don't actually use it as much. They used it for the scene where Samuel Jackson was talking his shit to the old man, but they didn't really use it much after that. They only used it one other time.
Gotcha.
But that's crazy how they can make you visualize exactly what they're talking about just with their words. Like, the flashbacks weren't even needed, The only time where it was needed was when Major Marquez, Samuel Jackson's character, was talking shit to the old man because of the act that was being done. I won't say it here, but you get my drift. It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
So.
I guess my problem with the exposition in Ghostbusters was that a lot of it just kind of feels like, so it feels like they're presenting a mystery, right? Like, the movie's a mystery. There's this mysterious ghost that's stuck in like this orb. That's kind of the plot. And like, apparently this ghost has like a really big history and is really powerful and can command other ghosts. It's this crazy thing, but it just feels like the mystery that they were setting up and the exposition they were giving you leads to fucking nowhere. It's like, what's happening in the movie, like with the ghost and the Ghostbusters, does not correlate at all to the exposition. It does not link them. The ghost is not linked to the Ghostbusters in any meaningful way. It's just a random ghost that has been around for like 100 years. We got to stop it. That's kind of like that's the most relationship that they have to that ghost. And I think the movie would have benefited from the ghost maybe having some sort of connection to the Ghostbusters past. Like, maybe the original Ghostbusters just defeated it like randomly, in like maybe a scene that we didn't have in Ghostbusters 1 or 2, and then they maybe have a small flashback or something. And then, when you get to the new one and the OG Ghostbusters see it, it's just like, oh, we beat that ghost before. It was really easy. Maybe now the ghost is more powerful. Just something, but it just felt like they were presenting a mystery that didn't have an actual like point. I wasn't like thinking about, ooh, this is an interesting mystery. I want to see where this leads, or
and
I'm not picking up clues.
Right. And how is this going to tie in with the rest of the story?
And it feels like it doesn't. It's just,
Yeah.
It was, and like where I thought the movie was gonna go was more interesting than where the movie actually went. And then, based on the trailers and the teaser posters, I kind of had this whole plot in my movie. Bruh.
Hey, Dan, you
heard
heard it here first. He's making a film, yeah.
I had a plot in my head that I thought like was gonna be the movie, and that wasn't the movie, and I was kind of disappointed. Because what I thought the movie was gonna be was that the whole movie was the Frozen Empire. You know what I mean? Because the teaser poster has them in, they have like these red, I guess like thermal Ghostbusters uniforms, and they're with the Ecto-1 like in the streets of New York, like a frozen New York. So I thought that the whole movie was going to be kind of like, maybe it's like a kind of a lockdown type of movie, where it's like a lot of it takes place within the fire station, maybe because maybe they're frozen in or something, and they have to kind of figure out what's going on and stop the ghost. But the Frozen Empire thing wasn't until like the last 10 minutes of the movie. And that's kind of like what all the marketing is based on. So I feel like
sucks.
I feel like I imagined a much more interesting movie than what we actually got. And then the red thermal Ghostbuster outfit that they have in the trailer and in the poster, they don't even wear. They're just wearing the OG Ghostbusters uniform.
Oh, okay.
So like, yeah, I kind of had, I feel like I was misled with the marketing a little bit.
Okay, well, I can safely say that this is bullshit, then I'm not going to watch it. Yeah, now that you said that, it's like, first of all, you marketed this entire fucking movie like it was going to be that Frozen Empire. And then they fucking, Jason takes Manhattan us and fucking, and just straight up said, fuck you.
When New York is like the last fucking, the ending of the
ending of the fucking movie. It's like, nah, there's no way. Okay, now that I know what they're doing, it's like, okay, they were deceptive with it, and it's not even subverting you, it's just not telling you? Alright, fair, fuck you. No. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm watching Afterlife, I'm not even gonna touch Frozen Empire. Unless the third one of this trilogy is magnanimous, which I doubt it, I'm not watching Frozen Empire. I don't care. That's it.
Yeah.
I made my decision.
They also didn't even sequel bait, which
That's
like I
crazy.
like. I like. I'm like, okay, like the story's over. Like Ghostbusters, go on. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Cool.
If there's a third one, cool. If there's not, I'm fine with that too.
I hope, to be honest, I hope there's a third one because after seeing Afterlife, they definitely have some potential. So let's hope that the third one
Yeah,
comes
for
out
sure.
and it's damn good. You know what I mean? But from what I've seen,
I mean, Frozen Empire seems like a really unique premise that they just didn't take advantage of.
yeah. I mean, what was the budget on it? I want to look that up real quick.
I'm not sure. The thing about Ghostbusters, and I maybe have a different perspective on the franchise than most other people, but when I watched like the OG ones when I was younger, I never really considered Ghostbusters to be like this crazy like IP that's like this huge blockbuster. I always saw it as kind of like a fun, goofy comedy with like about busting ghosts. And maybe it's because I wasn't around when the original movies came out, so
Well,
maybe I don't know like how big it was. But I feel like presenting it now as a huge blockbuster is not really doing the franchise justice.
Well, that
I
was the
feel like,
original intent. That was the original intent when the movie came out. It was just meant to be this nice thing with this cool concept, Let's see what's
and
going
it
on.
took off.
And then
Right?
after
Yeah.
the first one, they made the second one a whole lot bigger, you know what I mean, which still made a lot of
Mhm.
money. And so that kind of like cemented it in people's minds. It was just like, hey, this is crazy. What a big blockbuster. But they never went past that. And then when Ghostbusters 2016 came around, everyone was just like, "Oh, you fuckers!
Kill the franchise.
Exactly. You took
Yeah.
it out of its grave just to kill it again." And then Afterlife revived it, but in a respectful way, So I enjoyed that. But
Yeah.
I agree with you that making it feel like a blockbuster is kind of the wrong the wrong direction, considering the premise of the first two, at least the first one, is very simple. Just saying.
Yeah.
Continue.
And like Frozen Empire takes a lot of story beats from the other Ghostbusters movies, so it's like it's not this crazy big unique blockbuster. It's just a sequel to an ongoing franchise. But I feel like it shouldn't be presented as big as it is. Because it feels like in all the marketing, it's just like this is the next big thing, like kind of like an Avengers or MCU level movie
Right.
where it's like you have to go out and see this and you have to like experience it in theaters and watch it. And it's like if you're a Ghostbusters fan, then yeah, I can see having that perspective and wanting to go see it day one. But coming from someone like me who I enjoy the Ghostbusters movies, but I wouldn't consider myself a big fan, I don't see this franchise like in that regard at that level. It's like, yeah, people love it and they want to go out and see it. Good on them, but I don't think it should be marketed and promoted as like this MCU level franchise because it's not there. It's just a fun goofball comedy about busting ghosts with a little bit of horror elements in there. That's really all it needs to be. It doesn't
Right.
need to like blow your mind, and I feel like all the marketing is making it seem bigger than it is. It's overblown. Sony is overblowing, I think, what the IP really is
Well,
to promote the movie.
I agree with that, and one point I want to add is that at the end of the day, I feel like the reason why they do this is because of the budgets that these movies entails. It's ridiculous how much money they're paying these actors for the special effects, for the CGI. I mean, they're paying a lot of money. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't feel like these kinds of films need that kind of big a budget. If they were to kind of shorten the scope of the film, it would probably be better. Because as you said, there were plenty of points around Frozen Empire that just kind of faltered. If they just focused on one plot point, maybe a little sub thing, but mostly just the one, and put all of their energy into that, it probably would have been a better film. That's what I'm seeing.
And I wonder if the original intention was for the movie to be this big frozen, New York landscape.
It must have.
And then they just probably didn't have the budget to do it. So it's like, well, let's save the Frozen Empire for like the last 10 minutes. And then the rest of the movie is just a normal Ghostbusters movie. So, like, I don't know. I feel like I want to know if something went on behind the scenes. Probably not. Maybe this was the movie they wanted to make the whole time. I don't know. To me, it feels anticlimactic. I feel like this movie should have been more than it was.
It may have been. I think what it is that the marketing was misleading, and that's out of the creator's hands. And so was the title. You know what I mean? So I think that's what it is. At the end of the day, I just feel like it was misleading because of the marketing more than the actual film itself. So there you go. That's what I think.
They should rename this to Ghostbusters. It's a bit chilly.
It's a bit... it's lukewarm at best. Yeah. Oh man.
But I like Paul Rudd a lot in this movie though, and I'm kind of disappointed that his best line in the movie is also in the trailer when he says "Bustin' makes me feel good." That was a funny joke. I really like that scene.
Paul Rudd is something special. Yeah, I mean he's hilarious.
Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to point out, I guess to make you want to watch the movie even less.
Oh jeez.
All the Bill Murray in the trailer, that's basically the same amount of time he's in the movie.
I expected that. Yeah, I expected that. I mean,
he's not. He has 2 scenes. Apparently, there was a third one that is not in the movie, but was like in one of the trailers.
Oh Jesus! You know they spoiled me with Afterlife. That's the thing, right? Because when I saw Afterlife, I just thought that Bill Murray will pop up at the end and like that's it. But then he had like a whole after credits thing as well with Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah,
like, that's awesome. I love this movie. Yeah. You know.
The thing is, they didn't need to have Sigourney Weaver there, but they did. That made it so much better. So much better.
Of course, you know what I mean. Like that. That's what I'm saying. Is Afterlife, you could tell like this is a faithful not even reboot. It's just a sequel. It's a straight up sequel. Yeah. This is Ghostbusters 3. As far as I'm concerned, I think Afterlife is Ghostbusters 3. You should watch 1, 2, and Afterlife. That's it. You should watch that.
I would agree with that.
I think that's it. 3 may not be, and this depends on your personal bias. 3 may not be as good as 1 and 2 in your opinions, but I do believe Afterlife is definitely a worthy sequel, especially how many years after 2 was made. So I do think Afterlife is 3. And then that's all I really have for the Ghostbusters universe. I don't want to see 2016. I don't want to see Frozen Empire. I'm good. That's it.
Yeah. I think maybe I'll watch Frozen Empire again if it's something that is like a friend wants to see it. And then it's like, sure, I'll watch it with you.
Right.
I think to me, that's like one of those movies where it's like, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch Frozen Empire again.
I feel you.
But I wouldn't be opposed to watching it. It's a movie.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Fair enough. I mean, that's a whole lot of midness in Hollywood nowadays. Kind of sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the whole Kung Fu Panda 4 debacle and the Megamind 2 I hear was horrid. So yeah.
They didn't even. When I heard that it was the Peacock original movie and that they were not even bringing back the original cast, I'm like, so there's no reason to watch this movie in any way. And then they announced a series on top of that.
Yikes! Ain't nobody gonna watch that shit. Oh, hell no.
I'm good. When the fans were saying we wanted a Megamind 2, we meant that we wanted Will Ferrell back.
Yeah!
We wanted
seriously.
all the OG cast to come back, and we wanted to see that shit in theaters.
Where's my Jonah Hill? He's not here!
Yeah.
Shit.
Especially Jonah Hill, bro. He is great in that.
It's the equivalent of it's the equivalent of Rockstar Games giving their fucking OG games to fucking whatever that mobile game developer's names was. You know what I mean? For San Andreas and shit. It's literally just feels like a third party movie that should never have been made. You know what I mean? That's it. Fuck that. It's Kung Fu Panda 4, from what I heard, is the definition of mid and that it disrespects the original 3. It seems like it. I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but I would say I'm a pretty big fan of the Kung Fu Panda. They're really good.
Same.
They're
amazing.
Really good movies. That trilogy is solid.
2 is one of my favorite animated films of all time, and that's saying something.
I would agree.
That's saying something because there's so many.
Gary Oldman was the fucking peacock in Kung Fu Panda 2, and he killed it with his performance.
Slapped.
He was giving it. He was giving an Oscar-winning performance in that booth when he did not need to.
No, it was amazing, dude. It was amazing. Yeah. And Tai Lung in the first one was such a fucking formidable foe, and that voice actor, bro, he brought it. Like he's like the main head honcho in John Wick. I forget his name, but he's fucking badass. So good for him.
The Tai Lung prison break scene will forever be one of the greatest movie scenes I have ever watched in a theater. Easy. I don't even know how old I was when I saw it, but I remember being blown away by that. Bro. And I was scared of Tai Lung as a kid, bro.
When he fucking remember the fucking bridge fight where like he hit that side of the mountain when he was tied up on the bridge, and then he fucking spiraled around it and then whipped himself in the air. Like, ain't no way this lion out here doing it big, you know?
Yeah. That whole bridge fight with Tai Lung versus the Furious Five is like one of the best action scenes I've seen in an animated movie.
Easy.
It's so good. And it's funny too, because it's like they're all leaving one by one to go like help the others, and then the last one standing holding up the entire bridge.
Mantis, he's just a little bug. You know what I mean? He's just holding all that shit. I love it, man. It's great.
Yeah.
The movies were so fucking well made, and they came from such a wonderful place. Kung Fu Pandas 1 and 2 were some of the best animated films.
Solid.
3 is pretty good. It's not as good as 1 and 2.
It's not as good, but it has its
pretty
moment.
good. Exactly. It's not as good as 1 and 2, but it's pretty good. You know, like I can say it's a decent one. But then 4, I mean, from what I hear, I mean, first of all, Tigress is barely in it, which...
I've heard the whole Furious 5 is like a cameo.
Yeah, I'm not behind that at all. Apparently, Poe needs to name his successor, and it's just this random chick who steals stuff. You know, definitely worthy successor.
Aquafina.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is like, if Aquafina actually gonna be the main fucking character of the Kung Fu Panda franchise? Because if that's the case, I'm out. I was out before I came in. Aquafina? Jesus Christ.
The thing is, like, the whole plot point of having to find a successor to be the Dragon Warrior, why?
No!
He's not even old.
Maybe Jack Black is, but even then, no. Alright?
As far as I'm concerned, Poe looks the same as he did in the trilogy.
Poe looks
He's probably the same age.
He's not old. He hasn't matured enough. If he finds a woman and settles down and like has a kid and then trains that kid to be the Dragon Warrior, that's what I'd love to see. That's what I'd want to see. And then, like, let's say he trains the kid, and then all that hard work, and then the kid's not even chosen. Like, hey, like, yeah, I want to see that shit. You know what I mean? Why not?
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what our opinions are. Yeah. Those execs' heads are so fucking far up their own ass, they can't hear the fan base. Instead, they're just going to listen to their own wallets and think, okay, how can we extract as much money as possible? And that's what this is. So
I haven't seen Kung Fu Panda 4, but this is going to be my annual... this is what I saw on Twitter. That was really good. So... Someone was saying that for Kung Fu Panda 4, Tigress should have been the successor to be the Dragon Warrior, because kind of the whole plot point for her arc, at least in the first movie, was that she was accepting that anyone could be the Dragon Warrior, because she thought it was going to be her until Master Oogway picked Poe.
Right.
She thought she was destined to be the Dragon Warrior, and that's what she was training for, and it ended up not happening. So her kind of character arc was not only accepting Poe, but accepting that the Dragon Warrior could have been anybody. And so someone on Twitter pointed out that it would have been nice if her arc in Kung Fu Panda 4 would have been that, you know, she does become the Dragon Warrior after all. It's something that she was training for, but maybe now she's earned it because she's learned to accept Poe. Like, she's not as stubborn as she was in that first movie. Right. You know what I mean? That first movie, she was a bully, essentially. Yeah. She fucking hated Poe when he was first picked to be the Dragon Warrior. And then so, like, over time, she's accepted him into essentially the family of the Furious Five, and she's grown a lot as a person, I would assume, because of that. And so I think her being the successor makes a lot of sense.
I mean, with Tigress...
for her to be the next Dragon Warrior.
I agree. I mean, with Tigress, when it comes to 1 and 2, like, you could tell how pissed off she was at the decision in 1, but kind of, like, just kind of accepted it, like, partially. Yeah. And then in 2, it was a smooth transition because she saw how hard...
aggressive.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then in 2, she was initially passive-aggressive, but then as she saw, like, Poe working his ass off on that boat, like, Tigress kind of like, you know...
I love that scene.
I love that scene, too. It's like, hit the hand. And then he hits it. It's like, damn! But I'm going to say that after that, she kind of like, oh, okay, I see why he's the Dragon Warrior. He's a hard worker. He's persevering. Good job. You know what I mean? And then after, like, almost losing him, she started to realize how much Poe meant to her. You know, so once again... the Tigress transition works, it makes sense, and then her being the Dragon Warrior after accepting and learning to be accepting of whatever position she's presented, it makes a lot of sense. You know, one point I do want to add is, you know what initially turned me off when I watched Kung Fu Panda 4 trailer? The villain.
Shapeshifter?
Not because of the actor or whatever. No, it's because they have to sit on the previous villains in order to hype this film up. You know?
Yeah.
I hate that they have to bring back old villains just so they can, you know, sell tickets. I think there are circumstances where that's acceptable, but like a No Way Home or whatever. But you actually have to bring these characters back and add more depth to it. Like, I remember seeing this one video essay that mentioned that, well, if Tai Lung came back, I would have actually liked to see Tai Lung actually, like, accept that he's not the Dragon Warrior, just like Tigress.
Yeah, like a redemption arc.
Yeah, like, he comes back and then he realized what he did, and he's like, you know what, I shouldn't have done those things, and with all the time in the afterlife to reflect on it, I apologize. Like, if we've seen some growth, then I 100% without a shadow of a doubt bring Tai Lung back. But just to bring him back as essentially a final boss battle at the end of the movie, and that's it, fuck off. Fuck off. You know, it's just spitting. It's just spitting on the image of what he is, you know? As far as I'm concerned, Kung Fu Panda 4, it's not in my headcanon. It's not there. It doesn't exist. I'm going to watch it eventually, but when I do, I know I'm not going to be wowed. I'm just not. Continue.
And the whole thing of like the chameleon, what does she do? She like takes their souls, right? And she can like shapeshift into them, or can she just shapeshift into them?
Yeah.
So I feel like Kai kind of already had that power in Kung Fu Panda 3. Because you remember the Jade statues? He would like take down former Kung Fu masters, and then
but he wouldn't he wouldn't bring back the original voice actors, so that's what that is. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You gotta market the movie, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, I think even though the Kung Fu Panda 3's villain wasn't as memorable as the first two, I think they really gave him a strong opener by defeating Master Oogway in the afterlife. That is a great opener.
Yeah.
You know,
but also, I think what's funny is the fact that, you know, he's not the most memorable villain kind of on purpose. The whole running joke in that movie is he says his name and people are like, who?
Who?
So we don't know who you are.
This film isn't about you, dog. It really isn't, you know?
Yeah. He's like, I'm Kai, and then everyone's just like,
who?
You exist? It's like, who? Like, even my sister, I remember, like, we were talking about Kung Fu Panda one day, and she just brought up, she was like, you know, I don't even remember who the villain was in 3. And I'm like, it was Kai. And she said, who? And I'm like, exactly.
I always think, like, the sword chain guy. That's it. I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
I think of J.K. Simmons. That's J. Jonah Jameson
there
right
you
there.
Go.
That's what I think of.
He gets
Who is the villain of Kung Fu Panda 3? J. Jonah Jameson.
Damn straight. You serious? I'll stop.
You serious?
Oh, man. Anything else you wanted to talk about when it comes to Kung Fu Panda 4 or Megamind?
Fuck Megamind 2.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got. I don't know anything about the movie. I'm not going to watch it. I never will.
I really don't. After seeing all the fucking backlash that movie's gotten and seeing the marketing, I can't even fathom spending an hour and a half of my life watching that bullshit. I'll just watch the first one again.
I saw 10 seconds of the trailer and I hated it. So I was like,
clip off. I'm not watching it. I'm not doing it.
Well, I was like,
I'm not doing it.
As someone who's already iffy on sequels in general, if you fuck it up in the marketing, nah.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm good. Movies need to justify having a sequel.
They really do.
Even when good movies announce that they're getting a sequel, I'm always iffy. I'm like, you're gonna ruin the first movie. Like, and don't touch it. Don't touch it. When they announced Into the Spider-Verse 2, like 4 years ago, I was like, no, you're gonna ruin the first one. Don't touch it. Don't make a sequel just because the first one was successful. But no, Cross Spider-Verse was fucking goated. I love it.
It's like making
it was a good ass movie.
It's like making a Reservoir Dogs 2. Like, why?
Why?
They're all dead. They're all dead.
Why?
Literally every single son bitch in there is dead. One's not confirmed, but that's it. That's literally what this is. It's dumb.
Well, we're gonna confirm. It's like, no.
Hour and a half film of him just running from the cops. Yeah, Jesus Christ. It is what it is. Dumb. So, all right. So, there's another point here I wanted to get to. This one, I actually have mixed feelings about. I'm not all the way negative, and I'm not all the way positive. I'm actually a bit more negative than I am positive, and that was before I saw the outcry. The Acolyte from Star Wars, the new Disney Plus show. I want you to speak your thoughts before I do. Go ahead. How do you feel about it?
So I know that there's been backlash online, and I haven't been paying attention to it at all, but I saw the trailer. I actually kind of liked it. I like that we're getting what would that era be called? Like High Republic?
Well,
we're getting a prequel to the prequels, kind of. Yeah. We're getting that era. We're getting the era before the prequels when there was a bunch of Jedi and, potentially Sith. And so I'm curious. I think it's going to be kind of cool. The trailer was cool.
It seems to be right after 3. You know, because of what the trailer concept was, is that he's out here killing like what's left of the younglings and what's left of the Jedi. So this is like during Order 66. You know, that's what it looks like.
Interesting. I mean, that would be interesting, but I'm pretty sure when they announced the show that they mentioned this was like a time before the prequels.
Really?
Like this is like years before. Yeah, it's like because what Disney really wanted was like to expand more on kind of like the legends like of the universe in Star Wars. And so one thing that hasn't been really touched aside from like video games is the time, the High Republic when there was a bunch of Jedi and shit.
Oh.
And so I think the whole point of the Acolyte is because Disney wanted a show about the Jedi before Order 66.
Also, like old school.
Yeah, like this is like old. Like Anakin, we don't even know if he's going to be alive during the time of the Acolyte. It might be before, he was even a thing.
Well, if that's the case, it sounds like a really decent setting.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to research that, but from what I remember, I think that's what they were talking about.
What I saw there was like, first of all, who's killing all of the Jedi? Like, I never heard of somebody else going around slaughtering Jedi, especially when they first showed the younglings in the Jedi Council. I think it.
Well, I mean, I guess it's just a random Sith.
Yeah,
I think that's like
it might be that.
All right, I just googled it. The Acolyte is set at the end of the Star Wars franchise's High Republic era, approximately 100 years before Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Okay, good. Okay, so I can take that theory out of my head because I'm like, Anakin was Vader. What's up?
I mean, that shit would have been kind of dope if it was like Vader like hunting down the last of the Jedi. I would watch.
I would watch that.
A show about that.
I will watch that.
And have Hayden Christensen play Vader. That's all I need.
Easy. I would watch that shit easy. Anyway, So my thoughts of the trailer was very mixed. Mainly, the only thing that I'm looking forward to really is the fight scenes, and como se dice, some of the visuals. First of all, it looks competently shot, so that's cool. I also, como se dice, I also think that the action choreography, there was quite a few moments in there where I saw it and I was like, damn, this is actually going to be pretty cool for fight scenes and for some of the visuals. That being said, I am not at all, como se dice, ready to watch the script work and the performances. I don't think they're going to be that good. From what I saw in the trailers, I'm not seeing it being any kind of deep character work. I'm really not. You know what I mean? Like I'm not seeing any memorable performances in this show. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not seeing it. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that this is just going to be like an action-heavy, Jedi-focused show. I don't think it's going to be this super in-depth. I mean, when's the last time Disney has made something super character-focused and in-depth for Star Wars?
Right, but the thing is that it should be. The thing is, it should be. I mean, look at Rogue One. Those characters, hell, at the end of that movie, some of those deaths were starting to get me a little bit, especially the blind guy. You know what I mean? Like, they had some great damn character development in Rogue One in one movie with all of those characters. So they are capable of doing that. I don't think I'm gonna have any of that, any kind of remorse or like care for any of the characters here, which is kind of crazy. Because that's what I respond to. I respond to deep character work, and that's not what this series is going to be. I don't think so. That being said, it can still save itself if it has some really, really, really badass, memorable moments, and plenty of them. Action needs to be plentiful throughout this series, because what we've seen in the script work before, it's definitely not on par. But the big memorable scenes that everyone talks about are the action scenes and the scenes where big characters return, like Anakin and Obi and whatnot. But the thing is that this takes place before any of that, so they're not going to have any cameo appearances. Maybe one character from a long time ago, we don't know. But besides that, we're not going to have any big returns, so that means that these characters are going to have to make their own plot and make themselves interesting. And like I said, from what we've seen from Disney Plus before, they're not really capable of doing that. So we will see. I hope they can. I hope it's great. I know I'm going to watch it when it comes out and talk about it, and I will spew my thoughts. It's a double episode premiere, so let's hope those 2 episodes are worth the damn.
Honestly, the idea of like the show not having any cameo appearances or any links to like the Skywalker saga is what makes me more interested in the show.
Mm.
Because The Mandalorian, which I thought was fucking amazing in seasons 1 and 2, the show got ruined when they tried to implement more of its connection into the expanded universe. When they introduced Ahsoka, when Luke Skywalker shows up, to me, that's what brought down The Mandalorian. And the reason why season 1 is so great is because it's not connected to any of that shit. Season 1 is literally just, hey, this guy's a bounty hunter.
It's in the universe, but it has nothing
to fucking exactly.
It
it's
has
a
nothing
universe
to do with the movies, right?
Yeah, and so that's kind of what I want more of. And the only thing that has really been able to do that outside of like the Mandalorian season 1 and like the first half of season 2 is the Jedi games. The Star
Right.
Wars like Jedi
Like
Fallen
Star Wars,
Order
The
and
Force Unleashed. Fucking hell.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. And so like, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, great fucking game. I loved it. And it does have slight connections to like the movies, but it's nothing impactful, nothing major. It's impactful for that story, but in the larger scope of the Star Wars universe, it's not really that important. And The Mandalorian made it seem like, no, this is really fucking important. Like, you have to watch The Mandalorian now. So I'm kind of, with the Acolyte being separated, makes me more inclined to want to watch the show because I'm kind of tired of Star Wars linking everything together and getting characters involved that don't really need to be. So I think, as someone that's been trying to watch these Star Wars shows, this is kind of a breath of fresh air for me.
You know what? I can agree. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm tired of, the Skywalker saga and having everything being centered around Anakin or Luke or whoever. I don't need that. Just give me original, interesting characters and a cool story and some badass action. That's all I need.
You know what?
That's all I want.
I can definitely agree with that. The point that I was making is that at the end of the day, that's what people constantly clip and talk about. Like in their fandoms, they always talk about like, oh, Anakin came back for that one scene. Anakin did this. He did that,
course.
And so now that this new concept is coming around, it probably won't be as memorable to general audience. But I do agree with you 100% that a new story being told in the Star Wars universe having nothing to do with Skywalker is indeed a breath of fresh air. I agree. I just hope that they go all the way with that. They have a completely separate narrative that's badass, that's completely separate, and make it meaningful. I want new badass characters, Like, you look at a show like Daredevil, it's in the same universe, but it has almost nothing to do with the Avengers storyline. Perfect. That's what I want. Mm-hmm. So if they can do that and actually make this show extremely memorable and not fuck it up by the third season, I would appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I hope it's good. Unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to be that great. From what I've seen in the marketing, I do not believe that it'll be too great. But I hope it is. I pray it is because I'm a big fan of Star Wars. Massive fan of Star Wars. So I hope it is good.
Yeah.
With that,
I think I have more of a positive outlook between the two of us than the Acolyte. I'm interested.
You do.
I think it's
you do.
Cool.
That's not even close. You definitely do have a more positive outlook on it, and I hope it's good. I really do. If I watch it, and I'm not gonna be unfair about it either. You know me. I went into Ghostbusters Afterlife thinking it was gonna be not that good, kind of soulless, and then I watched it. I'm like, you know what? This shit's actually kind of fire. You know what I mean? Like I have no problem with a movie subverting my expectations. 100%. Please wow me. A TV show subverting please wow me. All right, because at the end of the day, I don't watch stuff to at the end of the day be like, oh, that was okay. Guess I'll go to bed now. Like, no, I don't do that. I watch stuff to enjoy them, to have meaning behind them, to take points that are made in your show or movie and apply them to real life. You know what I mean? That's what I watch shit for. I watch and play narratives so I can feel something other than boredom. All right, so. That's it. That's what I have. I hope the Acolyte is good, but I don't have too much of high hopes. And there's one more thing I wanted to say about it. Apparently, the full plot leaked, which is crazy.
Oh, great.
I'm not going to watch that video, but there is a YouTuber by the name of Star Wars Theory that he's made so many badass videos about like what if scenarios in the Star Wars universe. I will leave a link in the description for that video if you do want to see it, but I am not going to. I don't believe in watching leaks before something comes out because it ruins your immersion entirely. So I'm not gonna watch it, but if you want to, link in the description. Okay. That's it. All right. Anything else you want to say about that?
No. The only thing I've heard of Star Wars theories is that apparently he's fallen off.
Oh, wow.
That's the only thing I know about him.
What do you do?
I don't know. Like, people used to love him, but I guess now he just kind of, like, hates, I guess, modern Star Wars.
Well, you know.
I from what I know, he complains about anything that isn't like the original trilogy, which is like, come on, bro.
Yeah, your whole channel's around it. You gotta.
Yeah, you kind of gotta suck it up.
Or just change your gimmick.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't watch his content.
He got some great stuff back then, man. I'm telling you, he made like whole like what if scenarios where he would detail it, and he was really good at storytelling. But that was a long time ago, so I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, moving on. So, I have another point here. This is a big one for me. I mean, we've talked about a lot of negative stuff already on this podcast, so I think it's time to freshen it up with something positive. And for me, probably the most positive thing we're going to talk about, Furiosa. the badass, finally, the George Miller sequel for Mad Max Fury Road. All right, this is actually a prequel. All right, it's about Furiosa, but still, after seeing those two trailers, especially the second one, I am so fucking hyped for this project. It's been almost a decade since Fury Road has come out. Fuck.
Yeah,
we're
Jesus
old.
Christ.
You know, I definitely want.
George Miller's old.
Yeah, he is, dude. I can't wait for the documentary to come out that's basic about Furiosa that said, damn, this movie was production hell. You know what I mean? I can't wait. So, I'm going to say this. I have my points. I want you to start. How do you feel about the new Furiosa?
It's one of my most anticipated movies of the year.
Easy.
I think it looks fucking incredible.
Easy.
I mean, the thing is, Mad Max Fury Road, and you showed it to me, was a great fucking movie. It's a great fucking action movie, and Furiosa just looks like more, so I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah.
And it's about Furiosa, who I think was the standout character in Fury Road, and now that she's getting her own movie with her own arc and her own journey, I'm excited. I want to see it, and I like Anya Taylor-Joy. She's a great actress. I love her in everything that I've seen her in so far.
Anya
and
Taylor-Joy.
It's got Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. Come on. Anya Taylor-Joy, I think, is the obvious choice for a young Furiosa. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. She kills it. I have not seen a performance where she hasn't killed it.
Mm-hmm. I've seen her in bad movies, but not because of her.
Exactly, yeah.
Never.
And then Chris Hemsworth looks like he's just having so much fun.
I do. I see him.
I fucking love it because he's a great comedy guy when you let him kind of do his thing, and that looks like exactly what this movie is, where he's just doing his thing, but he's just evil. It's like, all right, I'll take it. It's great.
That's my thing, right? Is that when I saw that Chris Hemsworth was the casting in the first trailer, I wasn't too excited because after seeing him in like Bad Times at El Royale, I saw performances like that, and to be honest, I wasn't really a big fan of him. And I'm trying to keep a critical eye on a movie I'm extremely excited about, but keep that in mind. But in the second trailer, when I saw that his character is basically just going to be losing his fucking mind and shooting RPGs, I'm like, okay, Chris can play that character. Come on now, this is going to be great. So yeah, I wasn't that much of a fan, but now that I saw the second trailer, I'm a fan. Chris is going to be good.
Yeah. In that second trailer, isn't he like on a chariot that's being, like instead of horses pulling the chariot, it's motorcycles?
Yeah, no,
that shit goes kind of hard.
It does go hard, bro. I remember seeing the War Boys again. I remember seeing the main bad guy. I forget his name. Immortan Joe. Seeing Immortan Joe, like it's just. Oh, it's so fucking awesome. It's like the 10 years that's happened since Mad Max Fury Road hasn't happened. It's just like a direct sequel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's gonna be fucking badass. I recently rewatched Fury Road just to talk about the trailer for Furiosa. It's so special. It's so different. And man, I just can't get enough of the Mad Max universe. I can't wait for this Furiosa. I can tell you right now that this movie's going to be one of the best, if not the best movie of the year, bar none. I can't wait for it, man. I got so much more to talk about, but go ahead.
Even just in the trailer, it's got style, bro.
Oh, man.
It has style. It has flair. It has a soul. It has flavor, bro.
Yeah, it's
got
different.
Everything that you need in
it's
a fucking
different.
movie, bro. Yeah,
that's
I'm
the
excited.
main thing.
It's
distinct from other action films. This is apocalyptic and based on basically a normal Tuesday in Australia. Yeah, you know,
average Australian.
Yeah, for real, bro. No, you should have seen. I was watching Mad Max Fury Road on YouTube. Like, I owned it, and so I'm watching it on YouTube, and it has a comment section. No shit, there were a bunch of comics that were made during the pandemic that was just saying, "Oh, this looks like this is going to be Australia in 6 months." You know what I mean? Like, this is all it is. So, hey, fair enough. Como se dice? But when I was watching Furiosa, I was watching the second trailer, and brother, that rendition of The Man Who Sold the World was fire! Mm-hmm. You know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of the Matrix Revolutions trailer of remixing that one song. I forget the name. Yeah. Go ask Alice, whatever the fuck that song was.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It was great. It was such a great rendition. Perfect marketing for that film. The Man Who Stole the World. All those movies are about is how man ruined the world. It's great. Yeah. You know? And
White Rabbit is the name of that
White
Matrix
Rabbit
song.
Yeah, just a badass trailer rendition of that song. And Furiosa did the same thing. And there were some crazy cool fucking shots in this trailer that just made my jaw dropped. How beautiful this movie's going to be is unparalleled. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. And this goes to show, and I want to add this point as well, that this is a female protagonist. This is a female protagonist that's well written, that's well put together. When she was in Mad Max Fury Road, she wasn't stealing moments from Max. She was making her own alongside Max. And Max had really cool fucking moments as well. So when we saw Furiosa do crazy badass shit, it wasn't forced because we already knew she was capable. They built her up throughout the film and made her stand alongside Max rather than taking over for him until the very end where they had a little torch moment. It was perfectly written. And it's not forced like a lot of fucking projects do nowadays. Okay? So, I can't wait for Furiosa. I know that George Miller is going to kill this movie. I know that this movie is going to be up there with Fury Road. I have high expectations, and I think that it's going to surpass them. I really do.
It's going to be killer. It's going to be killer.
And
the trailers
badass.
are just, you can tell that they're just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
They're barely showing anything.
Oh,
it's just badass shots with nice music, but it's just like, damn, this movie's going to be clean. Like, that's it. It just gives you the vibe. It's not even showing you, like, this is the plot, this is this. It's like, no, just giving you a vibe.
Yeah.
With, like, maybe some story beats, but not a lot. It just... Little sprinkle.
Yeah, exactly. A little sprinkle. It showed Furiosa's mother. It showed Furiosa cutting her hair. Like, it's just Furiosa becoming Furiosa. It's fucking badass. I can't wait. I know it's going to be a damn good film. Some people don't like that Mad Max isn't in it. Me, personally, I couldn't give two shits. If Furiosa was a bad motherfucker in Mad Max Fury Road, I have no problem with Furiosa having her own movie. Mad Max had another 3, but before Fury Road, come on. You know what I mean? Like,
come on, guys.
That's it. Mad Max Fury Road is literally the perfect version of Mad Max. I didn't see the original Mad Maxes, but after seeing a lot of the criticism on some of them, I feel like Road Warrior was pretty fucking badass from what people were saying. But Fury Road, I think it has to be the best rendition of Max. I doubt there's a better one. And, I mean, you can't do better. Do something different. And that's what Furiosa is. Mm-hmm. Something different. I'm down with it. I can't fucking wait. I know this is going to be a badass film from front to back. And keep in mind, I will have a critical eye when watching it. I will talk about it once I see it. And I'll be fair. But, brother, I'm probably going to have to do a whole lot of writing once that film comes out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest.
You have to see it 5 times in the theater, bro.
Give or take, bro. Oh, no, you and me, day one. I'm seeing that shit at least twice. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, of course.
Jesus.
Dolby, IMAX, you gotta watch it all the formats.
Hell yeah. Trust and believe. We'll go to AMC for Dolby. We'll go to Regal for fucking IMAX. You get it.
Yeah, whatever the fuck they got.
Yeah. I can't wait. That's going to be such a fucking badass
the
time.
whole thing of like Max not being in the movie, I'm completely fine with. And this kind of goes back to like what we were talking about with Star Wars. I feel like a lot of franchises don't realize that if you have a cinematic universe, not everything needs to like combine at all times.
No.
It's the universe. There's a shit ton of people. You know how many people are out in the fucking world? 8 billion.
Yeah.
I'm not going to know everybody. And I feel like the MCU has kind of made that mainstream where if you have a cinematic universe, it all needs to connect. And it's like, no, it doesn't.
It can connect in vague ways, but that's it. It doesn't have to connect entirely, but it has to connect in vague ways. Like, just mentions of it. Like, for example, when, I keep mentioning the Defenders and shit, but like, when they mention like, oh, remember what happened in New York? That's basically just a reminder that like, hey, this happened, but it's not the main purpose. You know what I mean? That's it. So just talk shit like that. You do not have to connect everything so fucking simpatico. Okay? You really don't. Because at the end of the day, you make certain scripts lesser because different movies are exactly that. Different movies. And some movies may conflict with the style of movie that you're currently making. You get my drift? So, hey, that's it. That's my take.
It's like, it kind of pissed me off like last year when like DC was like releasing basically like the last of their DCEU movies. And people were just like, oh, I'm not going to see it because it's not going to lead to anything. It's like, why does it have to lead to something for you to want to go watch the movie? Just enjoy what's in the fucking movie. Like, Blue Beetle was actually like a good fucking time, but people didn't go watch it because it's like, oh, it's not going to lead to Justice League or anything. Why does it have to lead to that?
Yeah, it's its own separate entity. Kind of like when people say filler episodes. I'm like, dude, they're their own entities. Watch the episode. You know what I mean? That's it.
Watch the fucking... Just enjoy the ride that the movie's taking you on. That's it. That's all you got to do. It doesn't have to lead to anything crazy. It doesn't have to be this big spin-off from a cinematic universe or have any crazy sequel. It's just a movie. Just fucking go and enjoy it.
That being said, and I don't say this for Blue Beetle because I haven't seen it, but I did see The Flash, and what I will say is don't put up with mediocrity just because there's a big payoff at the end of a lone universe. All right, that's it.
Yeah. That's actually a great fucking example.
I didn't do that for MCU. MCU just constantly delivered. That's it. That's it. So
yeah, like people shit on Phase 4 of the MCU. And I don't hate Phase 4. Phase 4 does have misses, but it's because they were trying new things after Endgame. After Endgame, they knew they had to do something different, so that's what they did with Phase 4. And so a lot of people were just like, oh, this is not going to lead to anywhere. Like, what's the point of this and this? Just fucking watch it. You think I'm here worrying about when Shang-Chi is going to, team up with the Avengers and, like, Spider-Man shit? No, I like that movie. It's just really well made and really fun to watch.
Right,
I don't need anything more.
I can definitely agree with movies that are actually worth your time, but then you look at other ones where, como say, so they're kind of below you, you know what I mean? Is that
Black Widow.
Yeah, but you get it, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't need to watch this shit. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is that I will say the point once again. You do not have to put up with mediocrity just because it's all connected. If a movie isn't good and you know it's not going to be good, don't fucking watch it. You know what I mean? Like, I know damn well that I'm never going to watch the fucking Spider-Verse live action movies again. Fuck that. You know what I mean? I don't care if they're intertwined with Spider-Man. I don't give two shits. They're horrible. I will never watch those movies again. Especially Morbius. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
I'll watch them for you.
Yeah, right, exactly. We watch them for you, so don't watch them. The thing is, I watched Morbius, and I watched one time just for the podcast, and trust me, I sacrificed a lot for you guys. I just want to point that out. Fuck. And then I watched Madam Web right after. It was a triple feature. Venom, Morbius, Madam Web. Fuck. That's it.
Yeah, that's the worst triple feature known to man.
So, all this to say, Furiosa... gonna be fucking badass. It is gonna be a badass prequel. It doesn't have the issues of a Marvel Cinematic Universe or a DC universe or a Star Wars universe. It doesn't have any of those problems. It's its own separate entity. It's a badass film, and I can see people trying to apply that argument that this isn't gonna lead anywhere because it's a prequel and we already know the result because of Fury Road. Shut the fuck up. Okay, watch the goddamn movie.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. It's gonna be a
Look at Better
badass
Call
fucking
Saul,
time.
bro.
Exactly.
Better Call Saul is a prequel that's
Better
better than the fucking show.
And Better
that
Call
it's
Saul
based on.
isn't just supplemental. It's its own fucking entity. So get that shit out of my face. Okay, we're done. That's it. That's all I have. Fuck.
I already know Furiosa is gonna make me want to replay Mad Max, and I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, I got Mad Max on Steam. Oh, I can't wait to make a series on that. That's gonna be killer, bro.
I'm probably gonna have to stream it when Furiosa comes out. Because
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna have an itch to play it. I'm gonna have an itch to be in that fucking universe and be like, I just want to beat the shit out of some people with cars. That's all I need, bro.
Yeah, I'm down with that, Holmes. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna play that game soon. Oh yeah, easy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else you wanted to say about it?
No, it's just gonna be good as fuck. Everyone watch it when it comes out in theaters.
Damn straight.
Even if it's bad.
Even if it's bad.
Just support George Miller.
Yeah.
He's cool.
He knows
George
what he's
Miller's
doing.
a cool guy.
He knows what he's doing over there. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so I have another point here. This one actually I just put out recently because I completely forgot about this trailer. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, I really enjoyed the original trilogy. I love how como se dice, I love the ape CGI. I love how crazy decent the scripts are, even though some of the human characters for me weren't cutting it, especially in the second film. But I really did love the themes that they were pursuing. I love the action. Like I said, the narrative could be extremely gripping at times to where, you could feel emotional, especially in the last one where, the whole ending. It's just, the movies are a great piece of cinema, and they should be watched by pretty much anyone who likes good scripts and big spectacles. The Planet of the Apes trilogy is a damn fine trilogy that has flaws, but is definitely worth your time. I mean, I own them on Blu-ray, so they're worth my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I watched the trailer, and I como se dice, I'm actually decently excited for it. I want Squito to go first, and then I'll talk about my points. So you go ahead.
So we just talked about Furiosa, and I mentioned that was one of my most anticipated movies of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Dune Part 2 was my most anticipated, like number one. It's already out, though. And so number 2 for me is actually Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Because that last trilogy, fucking godlike. I really love Rise, Dawn, and War, and I think they were all really good. And so when they first announced Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I was kind of iffy because I'm like, didn't the story finish already? Like, what more do you need to say? But then when they came out with like that teaser trailer, and it kind of showed that this is gonna be, I guess, in a way, a back to basics Planet of the Apes movie, because I think this is how the original ones were, where there was like more apes and not really as many humans.
Right.
That's what I think. I don't remember. I haven't seen the
they
original.
were.
I've only seen the trailer.
I think the one with like Mark Wahlberg was like that they were on an island and shit. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I kind of like that in a way. This is kind of like going back to where the original Planet of the Apes movies were, and that's what has me interested in it.
Just doing them better. Let's go.
Yeah. So it's, and then of course, if it's anything like what the previous trilogy was, I think this is just going to be a solid movie. The only thing that has me kind of iffy is the director, because the only thing I know the director from is the Maze Runner trilogy, which I really like the Maze Runner trilogy, but I don't see them as like, they're not like this high level of cinema. They're just really cool movies.
Yeah.
And so like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, like the vibe I got from the trailer is that it kind of gives me the vibe of James Cameron's Avatar movies. Like The Way of Water.
So big spectacle, but not too deep.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I think the director's name is Wes Ball. I don't know if he can, kind of go for that. But so far, everything I've seen has been pretty solid, and I'm excited. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good movie.
I'm generally excited as well. His name is Wes Ball. He did make the Maze Runner trilogy, and he's doing the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'd like to think that they're in good hands, to be honest, because one thing that he did not have a problem was cinematography and directing his actors. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like he wrote this, Yeah.
So, we just haven't seen him make a movie of this scale.
Right. I agree with you.
This is the first time he's made like a big blockbuster movie.
Well, this is a very different movie as well, because Maze Runner had a bunch of human protagonists. This one has a bunch of animated protagonists. Yeah. So let's see how he directs people who are doing voice acting and motion capture, and then how he can direct the technical side of things as well. Let's see. as far as I'm concerned, I think this is going to be one. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I don't know if it's going to reach the heights of the original trilogy, but that being said, it may just be setting up an entirely new trilogy.
Probably.
The whole concept of this is it's actually pretty interesting. It's a defiant ape. I think it's Caesar's son. Overthrowing like what's up?
He's related to Caesar. This movie's 300 years after war.
Oh, okay. So it's part of the bloodline. My bad.
He's in the bloodline.
Right. Okay. So it's a defiant ape, kind of overthrowing a power-hungry and a hate-filled king of the apes, which I'm definitely down for. It sounds like a decent story. They haven't told it yet, which is pretty cool. The apes are hunting humans now, and Caesar. Well, I say Caesar because I don't know his name, but
he looked like Caesar.
Let's just say it's Caesar.
Yeah, he is Caesar.
Caesar is against it because even though they have a history where the humans fucked with the apes a lot, these specific human beings have absolutely nothing to do with their ancestors' actions. They're just people trying to survive. So overall, it seems like it's a movie worth watching. Once again, I love the original trilogy, so it should be interesting. And I'm crossing my fingers. Please be good. Please be good.
Yeah.
You know?
It looks good. It looks good.
It looks good. It looks good. But we've seen colossal fuck-ups in the past. You know? So let's...
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I think if anything, this movie's going to play itself pretty safe. Yeah. Which I'm fine with.
It's okay with, too.
It's kind of a reintroduction to the franchise, because it's been, like, War for the Planet of the Apes was, 2015? Mm-hmm. So... this is kind of a reintroduction to that franchise. So I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that. Indeed. Okay. Anything else we wanted to say about that?
No, it looks good. No? That's all I got. I'm excited.
Indeed.
Furiosa and Kingdom are my next two most anticipated movies.
Indeed. Now let's talk about one. All right, so let's talk about...
One? Who's one?
No.
And what did he do? Why are we talking about
Listen
him?
here. Juan is not the problem, you racist fuck. Okay. So, one massive thing that I wanted to bring up. First of all, I just want to preface this by saying I am a massive fan of the original universe. Fallout. Massive fan of the video games. Love them to death. Not so much 76, but we'll get to that.
That's Fallout, a whole different beast.
Yeah, exactly. That's a whole different genre. We'll talk about that another day. The Fallout TV series that will be showcased on Prime Video. After seeing the trailers, first of all, I do think that it will have some decent moments, especially with how they were trying to show the robot kind of cutting up the Vault Dweller. You know, I like those kinds of small moments. But to be honest, the only thing that I'm really looking forward to, and this is coming from a fucking ex-Bethesda fanboy, the only thing I'm looking forward to here is Walton Goggins' performance, the Ghoul. That's it. That's really all I'm looking forward to. I noticed that the Vault Dweller's performance is kind of flat, but I also think that's I think it's slightly intentional, because I kind of think I think of it more as a fish out of water thing, and the Vault Dwellers are supposed to be diplomatic. They were born and raised around really old propaganda and TV shows like 50s and 60s, and so it makes sense that they talk like that, you know, like they're out of the JFK era, you know. But that being said, I still don't think that performance is going to be all of that, dude. I really don't. I saw the Paladin, and it wasn't grasping my attention. The only thing that grasped my attention was Walton Goggins being in this, because Walton Goggins can pull off a great performance, especially when he's playing a cowboy. You know what I mean? So I'm down. I only want to watch it for Walton. If it surprises me, I'm okay with it. But do I think it will? Absolutely not. What are your thoughts?
So this is coming from someone who's not a Fallout fan. Pretty mid.
Yeah.
At best.
Yeah, at best. I agree with you. I think it's going to be below mid, me personally.
Yeah. That's why I said at best.
Mm-hmm. Which is
I'm trying to be nice here.
Yeah, just being generous. And you know what? You can be generous. I'm going to shit on it. Me personally, Me personally, I don't think that the Vault Dwellers, any of them, are going to be compelling or interesting to watch. I believe Walton Goggins is going to give that fuck it energy, and that's going to be the only thing entertaining about the entire show. Maybe without a couple standout moments of horror, which, it's pretty cool. I love the setting, and I love the atmosphere of Fallout, so hopefully they kind of lean on that the most they can, because I know damn well they don't have competent script writers on it. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be some decent visuals, and it's going to be a Walton Goggins performance for me. I do think that there is some really fake-looking practical effects with the ghoul and the paladin's armor. Overall, it doesn't look like that big a budget of a show, and it also does not look like they put too much effort into the writing. Now, it's bad when your show looks like something out of a YouTube short film. So
yeah, I've seen YouTube skits look better.
Yeah, so.
I don't like that I can see the budget in the
me too,
the show.
Man. Me too.
Like I can physically see that they're on a set with costumes and makeup on. It doesn't look immersive in any way.
And I am 100% behind the idea that the trailer is literally all the best parts of the show. That's it.
Probably.
So, and that's pushing it, because there were some moments in there that were boring. So, with that being said,
the thing is, do you think Fallout lends itself well to the idea of a show?
Yes, I think it's a really interesting. Universe. It's just it should not follow the Vault Dweller narrative. Not at all. I think it should follow some an Elsewhere story, like we were talking about in Star Wars. It should let's say if the show was only about Walton Goggins, I could follow that. Because it's about a person who survived the bombs and then witnesses the initial mutation of animals, and then has to go through hell to to find a reason to live, that kind of thing. I could definitely see an Elsewhere story that has nothing to do with the games and nothing to do with the vaults. Definitely fucking interesting, because the world of Fallout has never been the issue. Never. So I do.
Yeah, I mean, even from what I know about Fallout, you can even have the show focused on a certain town. Yeah. And then the people within that town, instead of just one specific protagonist, just have a town be the protagonist, and then have every episode follow maybe a different character that lives within that town, see what their lives are like, that kind of thing.
Easy. Como se dice? It's just I would love to see a narrative made within that world that has nothing to do with the video games or being a Vault Dweller. Because a Vault Dweller, even though it's an interesting concept for a video game, isn't for a TV show. Because not everyone's going to like the character that you write. When you play a game of Fallout, you're playing as a character that you made for yourself. Or yourself. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's what the whole concept is that Fallout is all about choice. But in the TV show, it's very linear. It's a linear narrative experience. So instead of making it to where you're playing as a character, you're watching a character that you wish you could just fucking create yourself, watch a character that has nothing to do with the vaults, has nothing to do with the main, como se dice, the main games. Just completely different. I want to see the days of the apocalypse. I would love to see when the bombs fell and what the initial radiation looked like. That's a big one for me. So I hope they do show that with Walton Goggins' story, because he's a ghoul because of the bombs. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But to be honest, man, this show is not going to scratch that itch. I believe it's possible, absolutely, for a show or a movie to showcase a really good Fallout narrative, but it won't be this one. So that's it.
Are you going to watch it?
Yes, only to talk about it, but it will not be worth my time.
Fair.
So,
yeah, I'm not watching it.
Fair enough. That's it.
I'd probably just rewatch The Boys or something.
Yeah, rewatch The Boys. Now that's a good one. That's worth your time, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Eventually, when we rewatch The Boys, at least when I do or you do, we'll talk about it and we'll go in depth about it. But it's worth your time, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. You?
Yeah, I don't have anything with that. It's just, I don't care.
That's it.
Looks like Halo to me. I don't really care for that Halo
Jesus
series either.
Christ. I don't even want to talk about Halo. That's for another episode. Fuck that. No, I can't. I already have enough negative things on the docket today. I can't continue.
It'd be like that.
All right, that's it. Next.
I'm the positive side of our coin.
You really
the
are.
More positive side of our coin.
Which is crazy, because every now and again, you go even deeper than I do when it comes to criticism. You know? It's ridiculous. Sometimes you throw something in there and it's like, damn, I didn't even think that. That's okay. That's unfiltered right there. That's raw. You know?
Shit, it'd be like that.
Yeah, fuck it. All right, so next point, and I think this is the final movie trailer that I'm here to talk about. Alien Romulus. Now, for those of you who don't know, I made a series about Alien Isolation a while back, and I'm a massive fan of the first two Alien films. Trust and believe, I am a Alien just a massive fan of the Alien universe. So with that being said, when I saw the trailer for Alien Romulus, and after the disappointment that was Covenant, I was actually genuinely surprised. I didn't expect them to build up the aura that they did in Romulus. They didn't show much. They showed little flashes of what the movie's going to show you. They showed an up and close and personal alien birth, which is really fucking cool. They showed multiple face huggers. Fuck that. I can't handle one. If you've seen my series, you know I can't handle one. Yeah, so there you go. And they're gonna throw all these ones at you. Really cool fucking world building with how they were kind of just showing screams and little ticks of music while they were panning through like the space shuttle hallway. You know, they were showing the new protagonist holding the flamethrower, kind of homage to Ripley. I think this is actually going to be competently made. I think this is actually going to be a pretty fucking decent horror film. I really do. Yeah. So, how do you feel about it?
It really feels like Alien back to basics.
Yeah,
and that's
back to basics.
All it needs to be. That's all it really needs to be. Just do the first movie. Do what worked. Do the first movie.
Yeah.
And I think it looks really good. There's a lot of atmosphere, and that's the important thing I think with this trailer is the atmosphere. It looks fucking terrifying to be there.
Easy. And, I mean, this is the director of The Evil Dead we're talking about. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Dude, honestly, I was kind of excited at the idea of Fede Alvarez already making an Alien movie, and the trailer is what I wanted from that. So I would say I'm pretty excited for Alien Romulus. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
I would also say that I'm not going to watch any more promotional footage. I'm just going to watch the film. That's it. I'm not even going to touch the rest of the promotional footage.
This teaser is really all you need.
Yeah. And I'm down with that. They're gonna promote. They're gonna use more promotion footage, but I don't want to see anything else. All right, because I don't want anything to hamper my viewership. Because you know how I am. I read too much into promotional footage, so I try my best not to look at too much, especially for stuff that I'm excited for. Unless it's a surefire thing like Furiosa. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Yeah. But when I saw the Alien Romulus trailer, I thought it was well put together. I thought it was fucking terrifying. I really hope with everything in my heart that Alien Romulus is going to be a back to basics, just badass film. But one bit of criticism that I do have is from what I've seen from the trailer, I'm skeptical of the performances. Not of the main girl, but of any other side characters. Not because they didn't show much, but I'm just skeptical of it. I don't know if
one of the actresses they did show is from Madam Web.
Yeah, yikes, right? So one of the main things for me is an original Alien works so well, not only because of the fear, but how well that fear was instilled into the actors. The actors were great at their job. Amazing. The performances were off the charts, especially from Sigourney Weaver. You know, so with that being said, I need these performances to be good. They don't have to be as good, because Alien is legendary. All right, it's going to be hard to beat Alien. I mean, that's one of the most... Literally, there are so many people in this world that think of Alien as the perfect horror film. All right? So, hey, you can't beat the perfect film. But, brother, I need this to subvert my expectations, and I need the performances to be serviceable. Indeed. I need them to be better than I think they're going to be, which is okay. You know?
Yeah.
So,
it seems like the studio has faith in the movie as well, because from what I know, this was originally going to be direct to streaming, like Prey, but now it's getting a theatrical release, which makes me excited.
You see,
that means there's something in the movie that they're like, all right, we gotta
put
show
this out.
Theaters. Yeah,
I hope, man. I really hope it's worth a damn. I hope it's a damn fine experience. I know I want to see it in theaters. It's one of the few times I ever go out and watch a horror movie in theaters. Fuck that, you know what I mean? But I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'd also like that they're doing the horror experience more than they're trying to, kind of bend into the action side of things. I want horror. That's what I want. I want dread. I want holy shit, this alien's unstoppable kind of thing. That's what I want.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it before, the whole thing of like, the action-oriented aliens or the more horror-focused alien, and both of us are more alien.
Yeah, easy.
It's just the vibe, I think, is so much better when you go the horror route with Alien, because these creatures are fucking scary.
Oh yeah,
they're absolutely terrible. So when you go action movie vibe, I think it doesn't lessen the impact of the aliens, but it does make it seem like one singular alien is not as big of a threat. When you go that action movie route, which is kind of the point.
Exactly, but I'm gonna say the way that Aliens did it was that they built it up for so fucking long, making these Marines tough and like what, I'm not scared of the aliens. Yeah, fuck these aliens. The Marines are gonna fuck them up, and then the Marines get fucked up by them. Yeah, easy. You know what I mean? Like you still felt afraid of the aliens, and when the Queen was introduced, like that was a whole new territory. So Aliens did it right, but then you look at a movie like Covenant, and it's like, ew. You know what I mean?
They did do it right, yeah.
Yeah, that's it, So, at the end of the day, I hope Romulus is good. I hope it's not just a fucking remake of the first one. Because that's what... that's we'll also see. A thing that scares me is they're like, okay, we're just going to do the Ripley treatment. You're the new Ripley. Anyway, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that's not what they do. I hope they try to subvert our expectations and make this different. But I also do want that scary horror fucking vibe. So let's hope they're able to do that and provide that. I'm excited. Yeah. I hope it's good.
Me too. And I think if this movie is good, we're kind of witnessing a little comeback of the Alien Predator, franchise. Because Prey was really fucking good too. Prey was really good, and that was kind of a back to basics for the Predator franchise after essentially dying in 2017. After The Predator, which I don't hate. I'm a Predator fanboy, so I don't hate that movie. Predator 2 is ass. That's the worst one. I don't get how people like that one. But the Predator is kind of fun.
I literally like only the first scene of Predator 2. That in the when he was killing all those Jamaicans in that skyscraper scene. That was cool too. But that
scene was fun. I just think Predator 2's just plain bad.
Yeah,
it's just really bad.
There's a lot.
There was one scene that I found to be really funny. It was when they came up with this whole plan to block the Predator's vision, the thermal vision, and then as soon as the Predator noticed he couldn't see, he just switched visions in his fucking visor, and I'm like, wow, so they did all that shit for no reason.
This fucking guy.
The best ones are Predator, the original, and then Predators, the 2010 movie. Those are the two best Predator movies. And then Prey is now up there as well. But I feel like
Go ahead.
If Alien Romulus is good, I feel like it's going to be a low comeback for both the Alien and the Predator. Hopefully,
I wouldn't mind. I would not mind at all.
We'll see if we can get some kind of Alien versus Predator action in the near future. I don't know.
I don't like Prey as much as you do. That being said, I think it's a solid 6. It's above average. It's not that bad at all, but there are some things that I dislike about it and also things that I wish it could have done more of. That being said, I do agree that it's definitely better than some other ones. But I do agree with you with that. The Alien Romulus being okay, being good, coming back would be a great comeback. And you know what, man? I would love to see an Alien versus Predator done right. Because if you look at the originals, Jesus,
neither of them did it right. The closest we got to was the first one. Yeah. But what killed it was being PG-13.
Oh,
whose dumbass thought that was a good idea.
Oh yeah, PG-13 and all of those pointless fucking actors in it. It was so boring. You know what I mean? The only thing that mattered was the fucking Alien versus Predator, and I understand that they wanted the humans to be the backdrop, but they didn't have to make them bland. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're human beings. We attach ourselves to humans. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we need someone to attach to, not a fucking robot, because that's what these people were. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Anyway, Alien Romulus. I almost said Alien Ramen. Fucking hell.
Honestly, the title is kind of weird.
Yeah, well,
Romulus.
Sounds futuristic, so I'm down with it. Alien Romulus. Yeah. I hope it's good. I hope it's
better than if they just called the movie Alien. Yeah. Because then it would have been Is this just a reboot or like what the fuck is going on?
Bland ass name, you know? Ridiculous.
Yeah, and that name.
So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. You?
Yeah, looks good.
Damn straight. All right. So next point that I have on the docket actually has nothing to do with movie trailers. How about that?
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, we're done with all that.
It's a lot of movie trailers
I
that my
agree.
brain was like.
Fucking hell. So
I had to catch up.
I took some screenshots of this, which is hilarious. Goldberg recently said some bullshit. I don't know where it was. I don't know if it was on a Skype call or on Twitter or whatever. But he's a little perturbed about Asuka beating his undefeated streak. Yeah. I remember that Asuka heard this news, or rather, Asuka just said, "Oh my God, I recently beat Goldberg's record," or something along those lines. Like, I have nothing but respect for him.
Like years ago.
I have nothing but respect for him. Blah blah blah. And then Scott Hall responded with, "Oh, don't worry, Asuka. You're more talented than he ever was." Yeah, real quick. Yeah. So. First of all, shout out to Scott Hall. Okay, he's a bad motherfucker. He is the bad guy. Good for him. You know.
Yeah.
And so recently, Goldberg basically kind of said something about it. He's like, I don't know, man. They actually beat my undefeated streak. Yeah, some Asian lady.
He said a girl beat my undefeated streak.
Yeah,
he said it.
Yeah.
He emphasized girl.
Yeah.
A girl beat my undefeated streak. Some Japanese girl named Asuka.
Yeah, Asuka. I got him. This motherfucker. He said he said sugar in Spanish. Asuka. ¿Qué es esto, man? Oh my God. What the fuck is that? So first of all, I just want to say that a lot of people are calling him racist. I don't think it's the racist thing. I think it's a sexist thing. Yeah, because when he said just some Japanese lady named Asuka, it's like, okay, that's kind of dumb, but he is old. So, like, maybe that's just, like, kind of something that he's identifying her with. But then he said, yeah, a woman beat my streak. He's like, oh, okay. So that's what you are. You're sexist. Okay, first of all, I just want to point this out. Goldberg, I just want to preface my feelings for Goldberg. Goldberg is a guy that didn't have any kind of talent. He was a guy that would come into the ring, hit you with 2 moves, and move on for most of his matches. Any match that went past the 2-minute mark was horrible. Is there any good Goldberg matches that go past 2 minutes? Please inform me in the comments, because I don't think there is. You? Do you think that?
I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think, too. I don't think it exists. What I do remember is Goldberg coming back into the WWE and fisting Kevin Owens for the Universal title. That's what I remember. I don't know about you. Shit.
And Bray Wyatt.
2 up-and-comers, and Goldberg just comes around and says, fuck y'all, I want the championship, and he takes it. And I know what he's going to say. Oh, well, I'm just the guy who does my job. He said this in the past, but the thing is, with a guy with your kind of power can lobby to do other things. Just like how Randy Orton and Edge said, no, I don't want to take Undertaker's streak away at the WrestleMania. So, hey, all I'm saying is if they were able to negotiate back then, when they weren't as big, I don't know about you, Haas. I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous, me personally. I don't think it was a good idea to ever take Kevin Owens' championship away with Goldberg. All right, but it is what it is. Me personally, I don't like his in-ring talent. I mean, Bret Hart doesn't like him. He doesn't think he's talented. I agree with Bret Hart. Triple H don't fucking like him, and I agree with Triple H. Yeah.
Yep. That's my goat, Triple H.
Damn straight. No one likes Goldberg, okay? Let me tell you, initially when I watched you, the reason why people liked you is because you would do things that no one else would do. You would go in, you would take people out quickly, and then you'd leave. You had an aura around you, okay? And that's good. You had showmanship. You had panache. But at the end of the day, when that kind of panache is used to squash younger developing talent or to squash storylines like Brock Lesnar beating the fucking streak and being unstoppable and then him getting steamrolled by Goldberg of all people, no. I don't agree with that. Absolutely not. So, me personally, I don't like Goldberg. He's never a big fan of him. It is what it is. He definitely had some badass fucking moments, and his aura was one of the best auras of all time. But if you get him in a match for more than 2 minutes, you'll see how sluggish he is. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, me personally, not a big fan. It is what it is. How do you feel about Goldberg, Dorian?
About the same. He's just... He's entertaining to watch... only in a squash match.
Yeah.
And that's because he can't do anything that's not a squash match.
Except sometimes he squashes the wrong people. Continue.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
And more recently, a lot of times he squashes the wrong people. But I don't. He's just not interesting to watch for me. Like, what's his character? That he's tough.
Whoa.
That's like every wrestler
everyone.
ever made.
Like, you look at Batista, he's fucking massive, 300 pounds, fucking monster, animal. That being said, he has 20-minute matches, and they're classics. So, hey, I don't know what you want. Look at Undertaker, the fucking dead man, can't feel nothing. The Phenom still has 20, 30-minute matches. So what's up? What's going on?
And then Brock Lesnar's character is that he's tough. And I'm not a fan of Brock Lesnar, but he's got Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman can cut a promo. Paul Heyman is a hype man. Paul Heyman is probably the greatest manager in the history of professional wrestling. Goldberg don't have a Paul Heyman.
He doesn't have a Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman does crazy promo work, and Brock Lesnar brings that crazy beast factor. When he gets in there, you feel it. It's like Goldberg, but Brock Lesnar actually has wrestling acumen. It's crazy because he's a freak. Because Brock Lesnar is a freak athlete. He's a freak athlete. You know what I mean? It's crazy how crazy his genetics are. I mean, he went to the UFC and went 5-3 amongst some of the best heavyweights of that time. Wow, you know what I mean? Like, he could put his mind towards anything. That being said, I do find his matches repetitive. He's definitely not perfect in my eyes. He's definitely got quite a few things that I dislike about him. But, brother, Brock Lesnar's got some badass ring acumen. All right, I don't know him.
He has aura.
Yeah,
Goldberg doesn't.
And he has aura. That's another thing, right? No, I actually disagree with you on that. I think Goldberg definitely has aura. But the thing is that aura kind of stops past the minute. Once again, Brock Lesnar has that aura for the entire match. Yeah, that guy's a fucking beast. Okay?
I would say Goldberg had aura.
You know what? That's fair.
He had it in WCW.
That's fair. You know what? I'll take that. That's fair. That's definitely fair. Because when he came into the fucking new WWE, Jesus, I know how to speak English. He just didn't have that aura. I can agree with you on that. Fair.
Yeah. And I will say, okay, so I said Triple H is my GOAT, and I know some people are going to be like, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, there's so many people better than Triple H. I grew up during the Reign of Terror when he was, like, the World Heavyweight Champion for, like, God knows how long, and dominated Monday Night Raw from, like, 2002 to, 2005, something like that. And I can agree with the fact that Triple H stopped Goldberg's momentum, like, hard.
Yeah! No. Let me say something real quick, all right? For you motherfuckers who like to defend them two, let me just say something real quick, okay? I don't agree with every single decision that Triple H made during the Reign of Terror, but I can definitely agree with two of them. Who was he supposed to drop the belt to? Scott Steiner? Fuck out of here, bro. All right. And who the fuck else was he supposed to drop the belt to? Goldberg? Fuck out of here, bro. That's it. That's all I got.
We as fans can all collectively agree Booker T should have been World Heavyweight Champion.
Easy.
That one they fucked up on. But easy. We're getting besides the point. So yeah, Goldberg's momentum was stopped by Triple H, but I think for good reason, because Goldberg doesn't have that talent.
Yeah,
that
he doesn't.
Most other wrestlers do. Like, Triple H puts on like fucking 40-minute matches, and like, yeah, they're slow, but I would take that over 2-minute squash matches.
I mean, he retired Bret Hart with a kick. All right? As far as I'm concerned, I don't give two shits about Goldberg.
Fucked up kick, yeah, kicked him in the head.
That's it. All right? Because, like, if you look at a person like a Sasha Banks who retired Paige, the thing is that move they've done millions of times, and it just so happened to hurt her neck at that time. It had nothing to do with Sasha, and Paige says that vehemently. But when it comes to Goldberg, that motherfucker kicked his goddamn block off. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Goldberg's never had talent. And the thing is, he's been in the game for so long, you think he would have developed some talent, but I guess he never had to. So, as far as I'm concerned, get him out of here, Chief. I don't need that in my life.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Goldberg just shows up.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Does his fucking two moves. You know what's crazy? Is that he was talking shit about how, like, oh, it's crazy how, like, I invented the spear, and then everyone else started doing the spear. That's crazy how, like, people steal half my moveset. And then, you know what I was thinking is, like, bro, yeah, because you have two moves. They steal half your moveset because you have two moves. That's it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, as far as I'm concerned, fuck Goldberg, all right? That's it. And guess what? Asuka, the fucking Chad of a person that Asuka is respectful as hell. On Twitter, she says she's honored to be in this position, and that's it. She's respectful as hell. I hope she doesn't acknowledge Goldberg and his bullshit, because that's exactly what it is. He's fucking mad because he thinks that the studio execs... First of all, Goldberg is selfish because he thinks that the WWE execs are thinking about him. And it's like, oh, we have to have Asuka beat his streak. It's like, no, that's not how that happened. I'm 100% sure it just happened accidentally. And it's like, oh, that's crazy. That's it.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure Triple H in NXT, when he brought Asuka in, is like, all right, she has a big name in Japan. She has a following. She has heat on her. People in Japan, she does have haters. But, she's really talented. She has great personality, great character. Let's see what she can do. Put her on this winning streak, right?
Easy.
And then that winning streak just kept going.
And going.
And going.
And going.
And going. And then all of a sudden, it's just, oh, shit, we beat Goldberg. Crazy. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Exactly.
It's not like they were just like, oh, she's got to beat Goldberg because she's better.
No one had you in mind, Goldberg. You're not that special.
No one gave a shit about Goldberg.
You're not that special, okay?
Yeah, Asuka has more personality, talent, and literally just anything positive I can say about her. She has more anything in her fucking pinky than Goldberg has in his entire body.
Easy. I mean, that's it. That's all I'm going to say. Asuka, easy dub, and she didn't even have to do anything. So good for her.
Yeah. I love Asuka. She's great.
Fuck Goldberg. And let me tell you right now, Goldberg's going to cut. Yeah, shout out to Asuka. I agree. If anybody wants to come over to our YouTube comment section and say, oh my God, I can't believe you hate Goldberg. You do all this. I welcome it. Go ahead. Talk your shit. Because then all I'm going to do is give you quotes. Oh, this Goldberg said this. This guy said this about Goldberg. All I'm going to do is send you quotes infinitely. The more you reply, the more quotes I'm going to supply. Fuck Goldberg. All right. Next point.
That's about that. That's all I have to say about that.
All right. So, next point. The build-up to WrestleMania 40. Brother, this previous Raw was something special. Oh, shit. So
that shit was hype.
So I want you to talk about it first, so then I can go down my points. How do you feel about the current build-up to WrestleMania 40? For context, the Raw where Rock ambushed Cody just happened. Go ahead.
The March 25th, Monday, March 25th episode of Raw.
You got it.
That shit was fire, bro. And the thing is, I didn't watch it live, so I don't watch Raw and SmackDown live. I just watch that shit after. Like when people be posting clips and everything. I don't have cable.
Yeah.
So I just like kind of avoid it. And also I don't get overexposed with WWE. I only really watch the PLEs. I'm fine with that. But this was a special Monday Night Raw. This was an Attitude Era.
This was a
Monday Night Raw.
This was a farewell to the PG era, just for one night.
For one night. One night only. Get your tickets now. Except you can't because that shit was sold out.
Yeah.
So, first thing I'm going to talk about, we got CM Punk made a little comeback, cut a promo with his torn tricep. Hope he gets well soon. But he's going to be at WrestleMania 40 as a guest commentator.
He'll be that guest commentator, bro.
I'm fucking excited. His mouth works. Like he said, his mouth works.
Yeah, I'm straight, so he's going to use that motherfucker, yo.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, let me tell you, with CM Punk, that promo he cut raised the bar. Easy.
Oh, yeah.
CM Punk is a fucking natural at promo work. And, brother, when I was watching promos between Seth and Drew, I was like, okay, it's all right, sure. All right, moving on. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't crazy. And then CM Punk came, and everything just elevated. Everything immediately. Drew was better, and Seth was better because of CM Punk. They brought it, brother. Oh my god. Mm-hmm. I can say that Drew probably improved the most because Seth was pretty good. You know what I mean? Like when he called Brock midlife crisis, like that was crazy. But CM Punk simply elevated everyone around him, and CM Punk has raised the bar for promo work, bro. I hope that Cody and Roman can have their own promos where they're fucking killing each other on the mic just like CM Punk did to Drew. Because holy shit, that was a crazy good promo. I remember when Drew said he was going to come in there, but I don't want to, you might have a weapon in there, so I don't want to come in. And then CM Punk just flopped on the ground like, go ahead. No, I'm here. Do it. Yeah. I loved it, man. What a crazy promo.
The nod to Vince McMahon when Drew called himself the chosen one. It's like, who chose you? Go on, say his name.
Say his name. Go on. He's like, oh shit. Yo, he about to drop another pipe bomb right here.
Yeah. He was waiting for that shit, bro.
Yo, easy.
And what I really took away from the segment between these three talented ass fucking wrestlers is down the line, we're going to get a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship, and I could not be more excited.
I'm down with that. That's gonna be such
all three of these guys hate each other.
Oh yeah, brother!
And
I
it's
can't
gonna
wait.
be gold when they're all in the ring together.
I can't wait for SummerSlam. It looks like it's gonna be Drew versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight because I think Drew's gonna win at WrestleMania. So I think
he's gonna win at WrestleMania. If we can get the triple threat at SummerSlam, Seth versus Drew versus CM Punk, I think that could main event the show.
That would be fire. Easy. You kidding me? Yeah. It's such a crazy build-up. And then you look at the Becky versus Rhea, como se dice, rivalry. It came to a boiling point this past Raw. Rhea was talking her shit, and he's like, you know what I do this for, Becky? I do this so when you're at home watching Raw with your daughter, she's gonna look at the screen and say, that's mommy. Hey, yo! Hey, yo! Nah, dude, that was the craziest. You saw Becky, bro. She was on the verge of tears. Like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. You say that shit again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She was ready to murder Rhea on the spot, bro.
Right then and there. And, brother, they made it 50-50, too. Rhea threw her against the ring post, and then Becky came back, and it was 50-50, too. You don't know who's gonna fucking win. I mean, mainly, I think Rhea's gonna win. But still, you get my drift. It was 50-50. And, brother, when Becky I saw that punch in slow motion. Becky punched the shit out of Dom. Holy fuck!
She decked Dominic, bro.
She put that entire shoulder into that right hand, bro. God damn.
Oh yeah.
It was great, dude. Just great hype. Great hype for that match. When it comes to The Rock and Cody Rhodes was cutting a nice little promo at the beginning of the show. You know, I'm gonna talk
his normal baby face.
Of course. And then fucking The Rock came in with a different fucking song, you know what I mean? With a crazy camera work. I mean, he missed his cue for the spotlight, but that's fine. That's fine. Besides that, it was pretty fucking badass. It was a whole switch up of the music. The Rock had such an aura around him at that moment. It was great. And so he comes in and everyone's cheering for him, even though he's the heel. Everyone's cheering, oh my God, it's The Rock. They're losing their minds. And then when he gets in the ring, he doesn't even pick up the mic. He just comes up to Codes.
Nope.
He says some shit. He just whispers in his ear, and then he walks away. And then people start booing. That's it.
People, because they wanted him to say shit. They wanted him talking shit.
God damn it, Rock. But it's okay, because later on in the night, Jey Uso was going to do he did a backstage promo. And when he did that backstage promo, Jimmy and Solo Sikoa, they came, and they came by, and they just like, hi, how you doing? They just nodded their head. And then Jimmy was like, no yeets. Yeah. Real quick.
No yeets.
Yeah. And so then Jey Uso had a match with Shinsuke Nakamura on the same night. So once he was fighting Shinsuke, I think he won the match. I'm not too sure. Anyway, como se dice? Yeah, so the Bloodline got involved, but then as soon as Jimmy and Solo came out, Seth and Cody also came out, and they went to town on him. But the thing is that when Seth was fighting Solo Sikoa, Drew McIntyre came from behind and gave him the fucking DDT from hell. Because beforehand, during the CM Punk promo, Seth Rollins sneak attacked Drew McIntyre. So Drew was like, fuck it, I'm mad. I can't wait. And so he did the fucking DDT. You know, so now...
And I'm sure this was planned too, because people pointed out in a backstage segment earlier, in the background you can see Paul Heyman and Drew McIntyre talking to each other.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so chances are Paul Heyman wanted Drew to take out Seth, basically, so the Bloodline can do their shtick to Cody.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did. It was a 2v1, and Cody was whooping their ass, but then The Rock comes out of nowhere, and Rock just dominates Cody for like a solid 5 minutes. And it's like, remember, Mama? First of all, I want to say right now, even though I love The Rock, he was slow as fuck with the promos, bro. Like, calm down, yo. Like, he was beating his ass. He kept beating his ass, but then he kept repeating the same thing. The Rock is going to do this, then The Rock is going to do that. And then The Rock made that promise to Mommy Rhodes. And Mommy Rhodes need to understand that Mommy Rhodes... Like, calm down, dude. We get it. Mommy Rhodes.
He was like, look at you now, boy. Look at you now.
Oh, I love that.
It immediately made me a flashback to when we were watching Django and Shane last week.
Easy. I like the way you die, boy. Easy. No, dude, the way fucking Dwayne Johnson was talking to him when he threw him into that barricade, he's like, look at you now. Look at you now, talking like fucking Scarface. It's like, well, you stupid fuck. Look at you now. I said no fucking kids, all right? You know what I mean? I love it, man. So, he came in as a gangster. He fulfilled his promise that he was going to cover that belt in Cody's blood and hand it to Mommy Rhodes. You know what I thought he was going to do? I thought he was going to throw him, like, into that little driveway that was, like, 10 feet below the cement rail. I thought he was going to throw him off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been sick. But I guess not. Yeah, that's fine. But the biggest moment of this night was that Cody bladed himself. Cody was bleeding, and it was intentional. So I find that crazy. That's basically just saying... exactly. It wasn't like a broken nose or like a busted jaw, or like a lost tooth. No. It was legit him blading himself. So that shows that WWE is kind of saying, yeah, PG era, not for us. You know what I mean? They kind of tossed that shit aside. So I find that
The Rock
crazy.
dropped an F-bomb.
Yeah, he did on live television.
It was censored, but he dropped it nonetheless.
He dropped it.
And the people that were there live heard that shit.
Oh, they heard
people
that shit.
Already put clips online.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you fuck with the final boss.
Yeah.
Solid.
Now, that being said, I understand where they're coming from when it comes to the final boss, because it's supposed to be The Rock's ego. But Roman is the final boss. Fuck off, yeah.
I mean, I think the whole point of it... I saw someone on Twitter earlier was saying that the whole final boss shtick is undermining Roman, and I think that's the point.
Yeah.
Because they're planting the seeds for The Rock versus Roman. That's the match that The Rock wants to have. The Rock versus Roman Reigns. That's the match. That's the money. That's what The Rock has been pushing for. That's what Roman's pushing for. And so the whole thing with the final boss is that The Rock, he acknowledges Roman, but I'm pretty sure he thinks he's the leader of the bloodline. Easy. I'm pretty sure. It's that fight for power. And I think that's what's really interesting going into WrestleMania, the main event between Cody and Roman, is that Roman taking a back seat, when you really think about it, kind of says a lot about his character. We already know he's cocky and that he thinks so much of himself, but the fact that he's not even really involved in the feud is because you already know Roman's thinking, I've already beaten Cody before. Yeah. He's going to do it again. He doesn't give a fuck. Why would he show up? He doesn't give a shit about Cody. Cody's just another opponent for him. That's it.
It's that disregard that's going to make him lose that title at WrestleMania 40. I can't wait. It's going to be a fucking...
Exactly.
I really hope Cody wins. I mean, I love Roman. That's the thing. I love Roman. I acknowledge him.
Yeah, I love Cody. I love Roman. I acknowledge my tribal chief.
Dude. And if Roman won, just like you, I wouldn't be too mad. But at the end of the day, it's got to be Cody. It's got to be Cody.
It feels right for it to be Cody.
It's got to be. I mean, he's lost at 39, which, looking back, makes a lot of sense. And so now he's fucking fought himself. He's built himself up again, won the Royal Rumble a second time, and is now going to fight Roman Reigns. I mean, come on. It has to happen. Has to happen.
Yeah.
He has to win.
And so, this is another thing about that Rock and Cody segment from last night. Did you notice the truck in the background?
Yeah, that was Cody's truck.
People have been pointing this out. No, not the bus that he was throwing Cody into. The one on the opposite side.
No, I don't.
So currently, the production trucks that WWE has right now are the WrestleMania ones. Mm-hmm. So they have like all the faces and the pictures of all like the current wrestlers. In that specific segment, when The Rock was beating up Cody, the production truck in the background had a picture of Stone Cold Steve Austin and John Cena.
Hey yo.
And so a lot of people are now thinking that truck was placed there on purpose. That's maybe a little hint that maybe Stone Cold and John Cena are going to help Cody beat the Bloodline.
No, dude,
that would... 40.
I remember seeing a tweet that said like, "Oh, when the Bloodline is whooping Cody's ass after the first tag team, it's now it's Bloodline rules. So on night 2, after the Bloodline comes out and starts whooping everybody's ass, Stone Cold's music's gonna hit."
Yeah, you hear the glass shatter. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that would be literally the most goated moment in WrestleMania history. Yeah. I don't care. That would be fucking crazy, man.
So I gotta send you maybe a picture of that production truck so you know what I'm talking about.
You do have to send me a photo of that production truck.
A lot of people are, we're thinking it's intentional, because the thing is with the Bloodline story so far, is that a lot of little details are on purpose.
Really?
And yeah. So that's the thing that's so different about the Bloodline story is that they, Roman has said, pay attention to more than just, what they're saying. Facial expressions, just their actions, the way, characters look at each other. It's storytelling. And they're trying, the thing with the Bloodline story is that they're wanting it to be deeper than what other wrestling stories have done in the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that production truck, knowing them, could have been on purpose.
I mean, I see it.
But it also could have been a coincidence because, Stone Cold and The Rock, Stone Cold and John Cena I'm sure they're everywhere in terms of, like, WWE headquarters and shit.
But the thing is, why would they, my thing is, why would they be marketed on a WrestleMania truck? Yeah, here we go. See, John Cena and yeah, I see it. That's crazy.
Yeah. And they're very prominent.
Yeah.
Very prominently behind them.
That's actually crazy. Now, that would be fucking sick. If Stone Cold came out and John Cena came out and they oh, that would be... And then I want to see Stone Cold...
Assemble.
And then I want to see Stone Cold Stunner John Cena at the end.
I want to see Stone Cold Stunner The Rock.
Oh,
Can
yeah!
The Rock sell that shit like he used to?
Oh, yeah! I want to see The Rock do a quadruple backflip.
That's what I'm more interested in.
Yeah, I agree. That would be sick. I want to see it, bro. Hell yeah. I'm a big Stone Cold and John Cena fan. So I want to see that. Easy.
And I think it'd be if they did show up, it would be a nice passing of the torch to say, yes, Cody is the face of the company going forward.
Easy. Yeah, I'm 100% down with that. I think that would be an Avengers level threat indeed. So yeah, I'm 100% down with that. One thing, there is one bit of criticism I do have for the WWE right now. First of all, where the fuck is the Bayley and Io Sky hype? I don't see it. They don't exist.
Yeah, that's it. SmackDown was very disappointing last week. We got, Io versus Naomi, and then Bianca Belair came in to help. Where was Bayley?
Yeah.
I don't remember Bayley being on SmackDown last week.
Like, where is the hype for the fucking Bayley versus Io Sky fight? I hope that there's some build-up this Friday and the Friday afterwards, because I do want to see some build-up for that. Because right now, you got AJ Styles versus, versus LA Knight. There's some good build-up for that. You have the Logan Paul versus Randy Orton. Is it a triple threat, or is it just Randy Orton?
Yeah. Triple threat with Kevin Owens.
You have the six-pack build-up. The six-pack tag team matches had some great build-up, including the Judgment Day coming in and invading on a match. You have some crazy build-up for the Cody fight, the Seth Rollins fight. You have crazy build-up for all of these fights except Bayley versus Io Sky. So
yeah, right now the women's championship feels like the weakest championship in WWE right now.
And that should not be the case. They should be equal. So,
yeah.
I want to see some hype. Equal. I want to see the hype, and I think they will do that. I think they will deliver on that. So we'll see.
Yeah. To follow up this Raw is going to be tough, but
yeah,
I think definitely for SmackDown they're going to put on a show, and then same for Raw and SmackDown next week before WrestleMania.
I think
it's so close. It's so close.
It's so close. 2 weeks, baby. Oh hell yeah! I already had scheduled off work. It's gonna be. This WrestleMania is, if everything goes according to plan, is going to be contender for top 3 WrestleManias of all time. It's up there. It's ridiculous how
I already loved WrestleMania 39, and this one is just they're definitely going bigger with 40.
Easy, and these matches are fucking massive, dude. So I can't wait. They had good hype with they even had good hype with Sami Zayn versus Gunther. With him losing to Bronson Reed. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Yeah. I can't wait for WrestleMania 40, and I can't wait for SmackDown. I hope they do it good. I hope they do it big. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I have.
Any complaints I had about the hype leading into WrestleMania 40 have been squandered.
Yeah, right? They've been squashed.
They answered every criticism I had.
I agree with that.
All right. All we need is the Damage Control story to get some more steam.
Yeah.
And we good.
And we all good. Literally everyone else is at a boiling point right now, so that's all I need.
Yeah, that's all we're asking.
Okay. Anything else you wanted to say?
No. I'm just excited for WrestleMania.
Same. The final, and probably the biggest point for me of this podcast is the new Roadhouse film. Fuck. I actually have to consult my phone for this because I wrote down so many goddamn notes. I couldn't keep them all in my head. Yeah, it's not the greatest experience. I just want to start off with this little clip by saying, don't fucking watch this movie. If you are curious about Roadhouse, watch the original. Much better. So, one thing I do want to say about the original film is that I'm a decent fan of the original Roadhouse. It's definitely not perfect. It's got its flaws, especially with the ending. Como se dice? But if you like the 80s vibe, Roadhouse delivers on that plentifully. And I feel like the characters there have some really decent writing and decent backstory behind them. Unlike this film. So, where do I start? Well, one thing I do want to say, a small point, is that I have never seen so much CGI be implemented into a fist fight. Never seen it. They had the first fighter, the first warrior in that fight, in the movie, is Post Malone.
The first what?
The first fighter in Roadhouse is Post Malone.
Why?
I don't know. It's meant to be a joke, I guess. Which Roadhouse is not, but it's okay. We're going in a different direction. And the thing is, with Post Malone, it was as if his face was deep faked onto another body. It's how bad this shit looked. And when he was throwing a punch, you could tell how badly the CGI was for his punches. His punches. So I don't know what the fuck they were thinking when putting CGI in a fucking fight, but a fist fight, but that's what they did. They weren't doing triple somersaults either. They were just throwing punches. It was like a bar brawl. That's it. So I just want to start off with saying that this movie did not start well. Now, this movie has a couple decent, okay pros. First of all, I like the casting of Jake Gyllenhaal. I love Jake Gyllenhaal. He's badass. He does some great roles. That being said, this is easily his worst performance ever in a film. Easy. I don't think
he did it for the money.
Easy. No, I agree with you.
Know.
He 100% did it for the money. He 100% read the script and thought this was dog water, but he did it for the money. All right? Now, one thing I want to mention is that his performance is phoned in, but I do not blame him. I blame the direction. You know why? Because every single fucking actor in this movie was atrocious. Every single one of them, their lines were forced, bland, and you know damn well they didn't do more than one take for each scene, besides the fights. That's it. Okay? And let me tell you something also. The script for this is some of the most insulting shit I've ever seen in my life. It's ridiculous. One way I want to start this video off is talking about the ending. Let's just start with the ending. The ending to this film is completely insulting, and I'll tell you why. Because the original main character, Dalton... Now, I hate to draw comparisons, but you're calling it the same name, so I will draw comparisons. Fuck you. Tony Dalton, the original character, did all of this crazy fighting, did all of this did all of this this violence, even though he didn't want to, because the people that he was feuding against killed his best friend. See, the whole point of Tony Dalton's character is that, he fights, but he doesn't like guns. He doesn't like to kill because there's a monster within him, that he doesn't want to kill people. But when those people killed his best friend, that's when he went angry. That's when he went full fucking burst and he ripped the guy's throat out. He got guns and killed a bunch of people. But then at the end, he learned to forgive. You know what I mean? Like that kind of storyline. So at least there was an arc. And then at the end of the movie, he settled down with a woman that he really liked throughout the film. Fair. Decent story, hero plot. You know what I mean? Not too deep, but definitely not bad. You know what I mean? It's just okay. You know what I mean? It wasn't really about that. It was the 80s vibe. It was the crazy action scenes. It was the actors for one. And it was pure. You felt that. In this movie, Jake Gyllenhaal is playing Tony Dalton. And Tony Dalton is not somebody who is afraid of his monsters. He welcomes them. Okay? Tony Dalton doesn't get mad because because somebody was killed. He gets mad because there were thugs that burned a place down that didn't even kill the occupants within. The people that were within, he knew them personally, and so they were injured and they were taken to the hospital. And Tony Dalton says, fuck it, and goes on a fucking massive murdering spree, killing all of these thugs, which, by the way, the thugs, they don't look like criminals. They're not, what I thought was that they would all be, like, tatted up, they'd look like ex-cons. No, they look like somebody fresh off the Hollywood assembly line. Clean-cut, boyish-looking motherfuckers. Not a single one of them looks like a criminal. While Roadhouse did not have that problem. They had one comic relief character who wasn't supposed to look like a criminal, just like this new one. But the old one had a bunch of guys who were big, buff, muscly motherfuckers who looked like they did harm and they did time. You know what I'm saying? So, This movie did not have that. It did not have that aura. At the end of the film, he doesn't learn to forgive. He just continues to kill. He kills everybody, and then once they're all dead, he doesn't settle down with his love interest. He doesn't stick around the people that he killed for. He says, "All right, well, I'm done here. Bye," and he leaves. That's it. He killed all those people because he was pissed off that they hurt somebody that he liked, and then decided to leave.
Wow.
Yeah. So there is no resolution to his demons because he never chose not to kill. He just killed and moved on.
Wow.
You had the script right there. You had the original ideas, the original formula right there. And you literally only used about 5% of it. I understand that you want to do new things with the IP, but if those new things suck this badly compared to the original, you should have just made a shot-for-shot remake. The bar setting in this film, Roadhouse is basically meant to be the main character, Tony Dalton, is hired to protect a bar, all right, that has a lot of hoodlums in it, you know what I mean? So Tony Dalton comes to this roadhouse, and this roadhouse, which is the bar, is so fucking boring compared to the original, okay? The setting is so fucking boring compared to the original. I remember this one scene where the boss was talking about, oh, look how beautiful these beaches are. And then they show the beaches. My brother in Christ, it was pitch black with no people there, and they expected us to be in awe. The fuck? This is the Keys of Florida we're talking about. And you guys couldn't even shoot a scene where it was daylight and there were people on the beach? What the fuck? So yeah, this was the worst setting. And one thing I also want to say about Tony Dalton in the new Roadhouse film, he's a piece of shit. And let me tell you exactly why he's a piece of shit. Because Tony Dalton is a very skilled fighter. In the first one, he had like fucking dojo karate, I'm not sure. In the new one, he's a UFC fighter, so he's skilled, right? And he whoops guys' asses with ease. You know, he does all that shallow power trip shit. He never earns it. But okay, whatever. The thing is that in the original film, Tony Dalton would always step into bar fights that other security guards were handling if the people that they were handling were armed. If they pulled out a pocket knife, Tony would get involved. Like, hey, all right, this is serious now. I get in it. You know what I mean? Because he's trying to teach the other security guards how to guard, basically. But when somebody pulls out a knife, Tony gets involved. Meanwhile, in the new film, Jake Gyllenhaal's Tony sees that there's a guy with a knife under his shirt and then tells the guy, okay, that guy has a knife under his shirt. You're going to go up to him. You're going to back. When he pulls out the knife, you're going to back up and punch him in the face. And it works. But why the fuck would you send somebody who doesn't know how to fucking disarm somebody with a knife into a fucking fight with somebody who has a knife? Why? He's a young kid too. He was going to send him to his fucking death because this is a dumb movie. It tended to work out. But the original Tony Dalton would have never have done that. So, what you're telling me is that our main protagonist is a piece of shit who doesn't care about other people and just literally only lives to be mildly entertained by other people's suffering. That's what I'm seeing here. At near the end of the movie, when he's fighting a bunch of villains, he's having fun. He's having a laugh. None of this is serious for him. The only good thing, and I say good as in generous, being generous, is Conor McGregor. I know. Conor fucking McGregor was good for the first 2 scenes. That's it.
That's crazy.
This film is dark. And I'm not saying dark as in the subject matter. I'm saying that in the Florida Keys, in the middle of the day, brother, the opacity is at 50%. Brother, that shit is dark as fuck. You ever see a movie that's dark as fuck for no reason? That's what this movie was. Dark as fuck in a setting that is meant to be bright as possible. I have no fucking idea how this became such a shit project and it had money behind it. Big money behind it. I think that this movie is an insult to the original Roadhouse. I also think it's an insult to people's free fucking time. Do not watch this movie. It is not a fun action movie that you can turn your brain off to. It is a boring slog. It is not worth your time. It is not a so bad it's good film. It is literally slop. The gum at the bottom of your shoe. If you want a good Roadhouse film, watch the original. Unless you don't like the 80s. If you don't like the smell of the 80s, that's fine. You don't have to watch it. But if you like the 80s vibe, go for Roadhouse, the original. Patrick Swayze is way more convincing than Jake Gyllenhaal was in this film. And once again, I don't blame Jake Gyllenhaal. I blame the direction.
Well,
I mean, is there anything else that I have for this fucking piece of shit? I don't know. I can't believe I sat down and watched it. I'll tell you that. Jesus.
I'm surprised you chose to watch it.
Yeah, me too. The only reason why I watched it was for the podcast. You fuckers. Yeah. That's it.
He took one for the team, guys.
I really did. There are some horrendous dialogue options in this one. It is so fucking stupid. The protagonist is fighting for his life and he's cracking dumb jokes that aren't even funny. It's ridiculous. Instead of him being angry and like out for blood, you know, when those people get hurt in the store, instead he's cracking jokes and being a wise ass. Listen, Patrick Swayze was using jokes and being a wise ass until his best friend got killed. Once his best friend got killed, everything switched up because that's how it's supposed to work. You know what they should have done? The thing is, right, is that if they wanted us to hate the thugs like Jake Gyllenhaal supposedly does, because I'm not calling him Tony Dalton, because he's not Tony. You know what they should have done is that they should have shown us the thugs hurting the people that Tony cared about. It was a kid and her father. They should have shown, because what the thugs were doing is that they had a gas can and a lighter, and they were going to go and burn the little bookshop that they own. And they were in it. They should have shown us them getting in, like, I don't know, maybe beat the hell out of the daughter and the dad and then throw them out and then burn the building or something like that. They should have shown us how bad it was so we can say, no, fuck these guys. Jake, go fuck them up. Like they did in the original Roadhouse. When Sam Elliott, I think that's his name, got killed by the thugs and then they showed his fucking body. You know what I mean? That was fucking impactful. It's like, no, we got to go back in and kill those sons of bitches, right? Here, they don't show that. They just show the police that show up and say, oh, yeah, it was arson. They're in the hospital. They're fine. And that's it. Nothing else. This movie doesn't even have the balls to show you something like that. But they'll show a man get eaten alive by an alligator. Yeah, that's not graphic at all. Listen, I understand that I'm kind of all over the place with this film, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm just spitting shit for people who have already seen it. If you have not seen this movie, do not waste your time. I love Jake Gyllenhaal as much as the next guy. Jake Gyllenhaal phoned it in, and I don't blame him because this script is horrendous. He did it for the money, and I don't even blame him. Good for him. I'm glad he got paid. Fuck this new Roadhouse movie. And that's pretty much all I have to say about here. Dalton and his love interest in this film, the new Dalton, no chemistry. No chemistry. None of the actors play off each other well. Everything is phoned in, generic, and flat. And unlike Roadhouse, which had cool side characters, the new one is painfully lacking of any decent side characters. Conor McGregor was literally the only decent thing about this film, and he was good in the first 2 scenes. So maybe 2 minutes worth of this 2-hour fucking film is worth your time. In other words, look up the scenes on YouTube. Do not purchase a Prime membership for this. Do not watch this film. Not worth your time. It definitely wasn't worth mine. I put down a 3 out of 10 because I just watched the film here. But now that I've talked about it, it's a 2. A 2 out of 10. Don't waste your fucking time with this piece of garbage. Watch the original Roadhouse instead. Or literally any other action film. That's it. That's all I have. Fuck Roadhouse.